Set to start this game. Umpires today, Colin Ralston, Peter Williams and Theron Philp. And we're just waiting now to get the okay from everybody, and the game is just about ready to begin. There's the siren. Umpire holds the ball up very, very high, and the action is just about to get underway. Mackenzie doing battle there against Parry. Parry gets the tap out, gets it across there. South Adelaide go forward through Kenner. Big long kick up towards full forward. Davey scouting the pack, has got it now. Is he as elusive as his cousin? Almost gets it onto his left foot, kicks the ball high up, went Warren, pushed in the back. Umpire says play on. He wasn't pushed in the back. I think I got a bit overexcited there, and the ball's got out of bounds. But a very promising forward thrust from South Adelaide. Tate Kaesler.
Yeah, no, it was a good start. Quick kick out of the middle always helps, especially with the breeze like this. Get it down to your forwards, give them an opportunity.
Stephen Kenner in his second SANFL game for South, and both times has had the first kick of the game. As the ball's thrown in, Mackenzie dominates that contest, bounces it forward, comes to Arnott, who knocks it over to acting captain today, and Heath Hopwood. Hopwood feeds it out to Graham, who looks to the outer side of the ground, kicking into a stiff breeze where Chris Gowans can't take the mark. It's pumped back into the 50 by South Adelaide, looking in the Warren direction, who flies high but unsuccessfully. Curry takes possession of the ball, feeds it over to James Gowans. He feeds it out to Arnott by hand, who comes backwards to Slade, who again looks to the outer side of the ground to the leading Chris Cowan, who is coming up to the half-back line from centre half forward to get involved in that play, but he wasn't able to mark it, and the ball is punched over the line about 60 metres out from the South Adelaide goal. And just looking on our side of the ground, Doug, a match up to watch on centre wing. Clay Sampson standing on Nathan Steinburner.
A little bit of experience on both counts there, both wonderful players. As the throw-in now to take place, it's about 70 metres at least around from the South Adelaide goal. There's the throw-in. Umpire gets good distance with that too. It's taken by Parry, got the hand pass away, and South Adelaide go forward once again. It may have been Fleming, kicks the ball very high in the air. Player there appealing for the free kick was South Adelaide's Tucky. Umpire says it's play on. Here's Davey again. It'll be his second touch. He swings around. That's a beauty! Oh, just off target. This boy is electrifying. It's not the TJM Serious four-wheel drive goal of the day, but it's the point of the match so far. In fact, it's the only one. South Adelaide one behind, 1 point. Lead Central's yet to score. 2 minutes have gone in the opening quarter, and he's electrifying. Tate Kaesler.
Yeah, he seems to know where the goals are. Doug grabs the foot in, straight away, has a ping at it. It was, turned on a 1 cent piece.
The ball will be brought in by Tyson Hay for the Doggies. He goes out to the outer side of the ground. Hopwood appeared to be pushed out of the contest. The umpire said there was nothing in it. Kenner mops up in the back behind play and comes inboard very cleverly to Fleming. Fleming looks to give the ball off by hand and then decides, no, I'll pump the ball inside our 50-metre line, but not with any real conviction. And Simon Arnott, playing his customary quarterback role for Central District there across half-back, takes the relieving mark, kicks it out to the Steinburner-Sampson contest. This one's won by Sampson, who dribbles a ball back inside, 50 towards the Arnott direction. He dangerously, in today's windy conditions, switches the play across goal. Doesn't gain any yardage, but does find a target in the relieving ruckman there in Big Mackenzie.
Mackenzie goes with a hand pass, got it on to Curry and turned on to the acting captain and Heath Hopwood. Kicks down now towards the wing. Got some good distance into the breeze with that, but South Adelaide mopping up a wild hand pass. Picked up by Bello, gets the hand pass away there, and it's, no one in particular able. It's just a bit of a scramble there, and Centrals have eventually been able to knock the ball forward. I think there must have been 3 or 4 players in there trying to get away. Chris Gowans eventually got it on there to the player, was it Slade? Thumped away there by Bennett. Big punch away there. Let's see what comes out of this one. Picked up again here by Richard Cochran. He goes with a hand pass, gets it away there to his teammate. It's a magnificent goal. Officer it is who has kicked the goal. That is an absolute gem. The TJM Serious four-wheel drive goal of the day so far. What a sensational goal that was. Kane Officer. Central District 1 goal straight 6. South 1 behind, 1 point. Comments from Tate Kaesler.
Well, that's the difference, Doug. South have been into the forward line, I think, 4 or 5 times in this first 3.5 minutes. Unable to kick a goal, and Centrals go down there once into the breeze, which is, worth probably 2 or 3 goals when you're kicking into a breeze like this.
Let's see how things are going at the other grounds. Thanks to National Wireless two-way radio. And first up, we'll take you to Woodville, and here's Ben Pittman.
Thanks very much, Doug. Good afternoon, everybody. We're about 7 minutes into the first quarter, and the Eagles have just kicked the first goal. It's the Eagles 1-3-9 to Sturt, the single behind. And now we'll head down to Brady Dell at Alberton. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties here. Roughly about 7.5 minutes, 8 minutes into the first quarter. We've got a broken clock, so I can't really tell. And the scores are Noarlunga have just hit the front, 2 goals straight, 12 to Port Adelaide Magpies, 1 goal, 2-8. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
And back here at Noarlunga, a soccered kick off the ground by Davey once again has put it through for a minor score. So South Adelaide doing a lot of attacking, 2 behinds, 2 points, but Central's lead, 1 goal straight, 6. Central's going into a stiff breeze. 5 minutes have gone in the opening quarter, and Michael Hanby, the 50-gamer, has taken the mark at centre-half forward for South Adelaide.
He can kick it.
And Chris Hall has taken the mark. He'll kick from about 53, 55 metres, and given the breeze, as Nathan Steinberner has crept up on the mark a little bit as the umpire was looking at Chris Hall, I think he crept up a little. Might have only been a metre or 2.
Experience.
Don't think it'll matter with this lad's powerful leg, Doug.
He's a beautiful kick of the ball, isn't he? Got the white boots. He's got the socks down.
I'll back him from here.
He was on the power list, played with the power last year, and he comes. There's the kick. The breeze has got it. It's off target, though, this one, and through for a minor score. So another bad miss there to South Adelaide. It's gone through for a minor score to Chris Hall, and South Adelaide 3 behinds, 3 points. Central District 1 goal straight, 6. John Simons.
Certainly with that 4-8 for South Adelaide, Hanby coming back in board to Hall and Parry previously banging the ball into a dangerous direction. They're coming to the more attacking side of the ground, which does give them a better chance to score a goal. As Tyson Hay brings the ball in, and Craig Parry takes the mark about 55 metres out again, comes in board to a central position to Michael Hanby, a player, the former Adelaide Crow, from there can get the carry as he sits it up nice and high. It's going long, it's going straight, and it's going deep, and it goes over the head of full forward Ben Warren, and that lands on the goal umpire's boot as he signals 2 fingers to say that's the Panthers' first goal. Again, coming from a central part of the ground, an attacking position. Central goes 1 goal 3-9 through Michael Hanby. They lead South Adelaide, 1-3-9 to Central's 1 goal.
It's very important, that you use the breeze. I mean, they're 1 goal 3, so you got to, when you got the ball down, when you got a breeze like this, you really have to make sure of your chances and really convert the goals.
As long as they don't get that score that the Saints had at quarter time, 2 goals 14.
That can't be right.
Umpire throws the ball up to get ploughed away.
Oh.
Craig Parry went straight through there and missed the ball. Umpire says it's going to be a free kick going which way? Central's way. And big Jason McKenzie. My goodness me, they're a big pair of shorts he's wearing, but he's a big man. Take up a lot of face on the washing line, wouldn't they? As he gets it across here to Swatala. Swatala goes down towards half forward. He's a beautiful kick normally. Up with the fist from behind there was Bennett. Got it across to Smith, who in turn got it on to Fleming. Fleming drives the ball down towards the wing. Trapping the ball there is Swatala. He's caught though, and it will be a ball up, or is it out of bounds? It's one or the other in front of the very small crowd on the outer. Most have sought a little bit of shelter from the sun, either in the grandstand or under the pergola area, as you called it a while ago. Might be a place to have a barbie, John.
It's a good place to have a barbie, I'd suggest. We can smell it from up here as the ball is brought back into play. Parry and McKenzie. No one can gain any significant purchase on that ball, and the ball looks to be balled up again, but no, a dribble kick coming forward now out of the pack in the South Adelaide direction. Coming back with courage is Chris Hall, unable to take the mark and then unable to pick the crumb up, but it's fed up here, I think, to South Adelaide's King, and Clinton King, the former Richmond and Collingwood midfielder, from about 49 metres out, just doesn't quite get the carry, and it is touched on the line through by Brad Curry, through for a behind to South Adelaide. 1-4-10, they lead Centrals by 1 goal.
Let's see what's happening around the grounds once again for National Wireless two-way radio. And first up at Woodville, Ben Pittman.
About 12 minutes in, boys, and no change in the score. The Eagles 1-3-9, leading Sturt by 8 points. They've just got a solid 3 behind. Now it's down to Alberton and Bradydale. Thanks, guys. It's probably about the 12-13 minute mark here. I'm waiting for the bell for the quarter-time drinks break. And it's the Bay still by 4 points, 2 goals straight to Magpies, 1 goal, 2-8. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
Get on you, Brady. Now, Tate, I was saying earlier, Brady is waiting for that bell to go halfway through the quarter for the drink break. I said it was made for us, not for you guys.
Yeah, sounds right.
South Adelaide 1 goal 4-10, leading Centrals 1 goal straight 6. We played 9 minutes into the opening quarter. Very windy conditions all around Adelaide. The wind coming from the north today. It's one to get that. My wife hung up the washing this morning. I've washing on the braid, haven't I? And she said it was almost dried as soon as she put it out. But it's not brilliant for footy. But if you can kick goals with it, I guess you don't really worry too much. Davey gets another kick. He's been wonderful for South so far. Looks down here for Warren. It's going to be hard to take the big mark when the ball's coming in so long. Taken away here by the player in Graham. Kicks with his left foot. It's going to be trapped by Scotty Webb, the former Solomon Town boy. Kicks the ball back towards the centre of the ground. That was a good kick, that one. And he found Jared Bennett taking a mark there at, almost on the wing position. He drops the ball in short, and Michael Davis was a star for South Adelaide 2 years ago. Returned to the club almost unannounced this year. Kicks the ball now from about 60 metres. as though he was going to do a 30-metre pass, and it's ended up going 60 metres. And that already would probably be a serious contender for the TJM Series four-wheel drive goal of the day. Michael Davis, South Adelaide 2-4-16, Central District 1 goal straight 6. That breeze has got something in it, Tate.
Yeah, well, young Chris Gowan's got a little bit sucked in there. He thought he was going for the long shot, but he sold the dummy and kicked it from probably 52, 53 metres and sailed through about mid-height.
Tate, Chris Gowan's actually coming over the mark then. Davis was able to run around him.
Yep.
In my opinion, a 25-metre penalty there. Is that the rules you've been told this year?
Yes, exactly, yep.
Yep, as the ball comes out now towards the south half-forward line, it's picked up by James Gowans. He appeared to be legged. The umpire said it was a fair tackle and play on. Clay Sampson takes the ball and bursts through a pack of about 6 or 7 players. Drives direction, and he dug Oakley there. Not wearing the South Adelaide cap, but his football purist cap as Ben Warren flies from 3 deep and takes what is definitely the leading contender at this stage for the Mr. Clip mark of the day.
I would have done the same for Daniel Shell.
I know you would have. And from the edge of the goal square, he'll pop this one straight through for a goal. And he has. He's kicked it about 50 metres through behind the goal 6. And that is a terrific mark and kick from Ben Warren. 3 goal force, 22. That takes South Adelaide onto to Central's 1 goal 6. And just prior to the mark even, Tate Kayser, I think we saw the value there of Clay Sampson being back in this Panther lineup.
It was just that quick kick instead of mucking around with the ball outside, inside the square there. They just got it in long. It was 2-on-2 and Warren come flying from the back. But once you say a bit of experience, get the ball in quick, give your forwards a chance.
There was another passage of play that I really enjoyed there from a South perspective, was the tackle on, I think it was on James Gowans from Michael Davis. I thought the determination that he showed, there was something special about that perhaps is not always there.
Well, that's it. You work hard to get the hard ball, and it can turn a game. Someone gets a hard ball, pumps the team up, and it can be the difference.
South Adelaide have come to play today, Doug. No doubts about that, looking at their intensity in comparison to what we saw 2 weeks ago. It's very impressive.
It is very, very impressive. 16 points the margin. The Panthers in front. 12 minutes have gone in the opening quarter. Coming to you live from Noarlunga this afternoon. Third round of the SANFL. There's the ball up. Leaping high there was Barry. He was miles from the ball.
He's done that.
He has done that. Fleming was in there. He couldn't get the kick away, but a dribbling little kick was marked there by Arnott. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Almost a good mark taken by Richard Cochran. He's tackled as he went to kick the ball. South Adelaide bursting their way through. There's a hand pass that came out there from the boy and Ben Nagel. The ball from Box Hill comes out now towards the wing. Clay Sampson's got it. They won't catch him. He's as quick as they come. A big 50-metre kick comes down here to Warren. He couldn't take that. Into the opening quarter. Comments from Tate Kayser.
Yeah, definitely a Rovers goal, that one. Stevie Kenner, front and centre, picked it up, was running at full speed. No one was ever going to catch him. A lovely little shot on the left hand, on his left foot. He's done some really good things so far that have gone unnoticed. A couple of shepherds, some nice handballs to the open running players. So, yeah, I think he's been one of their best at the moment.
I think you might have the tagging job on him when North.
It might be a little bit quick for me, but I'll try.
Has Jars got you down here on an assignment at all?
I can't say, Doug. Confidential.
And welcome back to Clay Sampson with 2 assists into the forward 50-metre line, setting up 2 goals for the Panthers. As Craig Parry times that centre ruck tap jump a little bit better and wins the ball. It comes down to Matthew Smith, who enters south inside 50 metres again. It's Tyson Hay there who drops a chest mark unopposed, but is good enough to pick the ball up and feed it off to Arnott, who feeds it wise to Hopwood. Goes to kick, and then errantly decides to handball, and he gives it over to Chris Hall. Hall feeds it over to Kenner, who's got Michael Davis free about 45 metres out on the outer side here of Noarlunga Oval. Clearly, after kicking the ball 60 metres before Tate Kayser, this 45-metre journey shouldn't trouble Michael Davis.
No, he should kick it quite easily. Started out to the right and let it swing back. The difference is, though, that I can see from start is South just harder at it, in and under, getting the ball out right at the start.
Waiting now as Michael Davis comes in. He's going to kick from about 50 metres. He's got the breeze. It'll go slightly across him. There's the big kick, but goal. It looks okay. They've cheered it through. He's got 60 metres with that one too. Michael Davis, goal number 2 has been sensational so far at South Adelaide. 5 goals, 4-34. Lead Central District 1 goal straight 6. 14 minutes into the opening quarter. We'll have the drinks break real soon. But ahead of all that, let's go around the grounds again. And first up at Woodville, here's Ben Pittman.
We're just about to go back from the drinks break here, boys, and it's the Eagles by 2 points. The Eagles 1-3-9, leading Sturt 1-1-7. And we've just gone back from the drinks break. Now we'll head down to Brady Dell at Alberton. Yeah, sorry, guys, my earpiece is coming out again. Just coming back to the French Bay here at Alberton, and the Tigers by 5 points, 2-2-14, leading the Magpies 1-3-9. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
There's the ball up, and Craig Parry again does a huge leap. He's using a lot of energy, and I don't know whether that's deliberate to try and jump into the body or what. He's not even connecting with the body. It just looks quite interesting as Centrals get the free kick down towards half forward, and Richard Cochrane has taken the mark here about 60 metres out from goal.
Cochrane will pump Centrals inside 50 in the Cowan direction. He flies, he can't take the mark. Bello crumbing front and centre where all good Rovers should be. Takes the ball cleanly, is able to put the ball in the trusty left boot forward to the goal direction, but he has hooked it out left. And the goal umpire signals one behind as we hear the siren go here at Noarlunga Oval. 15.25 minutes in the jump on nearly every occasion so far at the centre ball ups. And we saw South 2 weeks ago, obviously they had the bye last week, but 2 weeks ago spent a lot of time up forward and not playing in these new conditions with the second circle. Is there a difference, Tate, with that second circle?
Yeah, definitely it makes a difference. You know, it's a different way to, you know, get your run up and all that. But I saw, like, there's 3 times he's jumped over, but once he's run it and he's hit it straight down the boy's throat. So I think it's just a matter of getting his timing right, allowing, you know, obviously you've got to judge for different umpires when they bounce it and throw it up. So
we've got a fair idea of just how strong that breeze is. The south fullback kicked out, and the ball has landed almost level with the centre circle. That is how I mean, that kick has gone 70 odd metres, but after that Arnott having a shot for goal, well, not really a shot for goal, he lands it deep in the forward line here for Central District. It's way down in the pocket. We've got the Colonnade Shopping Centre as the backdrop down there. We've got the umpire racing in though and saying it is out of bounds. There will be a throw-in. So the big fellas to do battle again. It's going to be Craig Parry, and his immediate opponent will be, let's see,
Luke Cowan.
Might be Luke Cowan, who's got a bit of a spring on him too. Cowan actually got the tap out, but South come away there through Hall. The white-booted Hall kicks out now towards the wing. Looks out here for Davis, who's been wonderful so far, and he's certainly given Heath Hopwood something to think about out there. I know he's been playing a bit on the ball too, but the ball is out of bounds. It's on the outer side. South lead 5-4-34. Central's 1-1-7.
As Jared Bennett makes his way down to the forward line, a man up on Daniel Shell, who is trying to play in the loose man role across the half forward line of South Adelaide. The umpire will throw the ball in. Slade makes his way to the back of the pack. It's won here decisively by Parry. Puts it in the direction of Clinton King on hands and knees. Fires out a handball inboard, and a very clever one to the advantage of Michael Hanby. He looks to handball and then throws it on the boot and is tackled as he kicks. So as such a turnover here comes in the Nathan Steinburner direction. Good pressure from his immediate opponent in Sampson. Plays the tackle. Slade picks up the ball. He is equally dealt with and thrown to ground. But the umpire has said that's a free kick after Matty Slade had released the ball. And it's going to go to James Gowans here, about 65 metres out for Central Districts on the outer side of the ground, kicking into the teeth of the breeze, keeps it low, looking for Cowan, and he's found him. It's a very good lead from Luke Cowan straight at him. You heard in the background a good kick, and it was from James Gowans. He's hit Luke Cowan, who's about 35 metres out, and this will be a very good test, Tate Kayser, of how difficult it is to kick goals into this breeze.
yeah, just the experience again. You see the Gowans, you know, played many years of footy, just that beautiful kick, and Central's just left the space so wide open.
In he comes now. This is going to be Luke Cowan lining up for goal. He's probably about 40 metres out. There's the kick. It's gone across the face of goal. I think he snuck it in for a minor score. So Central District kicking into, as you can hear that breeze, it's come up again. It wasn't a bad kick considering the conditions. Central's move along to 1-2-8, but trading South Adelaide 5-4-34. 20 minutes have gone in the opening quarter. The broadcast on Life FM with John Simons, Tate Kayser and Doug Oakley. As we go around the grounds again for National Wireless two-way radio. Look at that for a kick. That has almost landed in the centre square as Smith has got it. He's caught one around the neck. The umpire must have been, in fact, I thought he could have got 2 free kicks out of that, and he didn't get one, but it's taken this time by Chris Gowans. We'll stay with it, fellas, just for a moment. We'll go around the grounds in just a tick, though, as there's good football there by Cochrane. Kicks it down, and a straight by the South defenders, and it's a goal here, a good goal too, to Marco Bello, and a very, very handy goal there to them. I think it's Tom Hately who was kicking out. Phenomenal kick.
Also made the mistake there, just took his eye off the ball, Doug, and coughed the ball up to Marco Bello.
Handy goal, Central District, 2 goals, 2-14. South, 5-4-34. The Life FM scoreboard, 21 minutes of the quarter gone. Okay, around the grounds again at Woodville. Here is Ben Pittman.
About 23 minutes into the first quarter, boys, and it's the Eagles by 15 points. The Eagles 3-4-22, leading Sturt 1-1-7. Now it's down to Brady Dell at Alberton. 22-minute mark here at Albion, and the Bays lead the Magpies 3-2-20 to Port Adelaide. Very inaccurate at the moment, 1-5-11. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
South Adelaide in front. There's the ball up. Parry got the tap out, gets it across. Not sure who got the kick. It might have been King. Comes out now to Smith. Can he make some play out of this? Knocks it towards centre half forward. South still knocking the ball forward, but it's going to be taken away here by the young Centrals private officer. He's knocked off the ball, picked up by Bennett. Gets the hand pass away here to Sampson. What's he going to do? Goes for a big long kick. I'm not sure, but another contender, that one for the TJM Sirius four-wheel drive goal of the day. I think we'll be calling that a fair bit, John, but South 6 goals for 34. 6-4-34, 6-4-40, leading Centrals 2-2-14.
Jared Bennett just took possession of that ball and had the presence of mind to have the awareness of the player coming at him from behind, put his arms up in the tackle, take Kaiser, fed the ball out to Clay Sampson, who steadied and goaled. A lot of poise from two experienced players.
And that's what he's got to do, seeing they've dropped the man back. He's got to be dangerous. That's the thing he's got to do. That's all he's got to do, get someone open.
You see him here playing about 40 metres away from Shell, trying to make him man him up. As Parry takes the centre contest here again against McKenzie. Parry wins it down. No one can take the ball out decisively. In the end, it feeds out here to the South Adelaide advantage and Ben Nagel. He sweeps the ball out wide looking for Michael Davis, who's been in the game plenty today, but that ball is going to beat him over the boundary line and out of bounds. Smack bang in the middle of the outer centre wing here at Noarlunga Oval, where the scoreboard reads South Adelaide 6-4-40, leading Centrals 2-2-14. We're 23 minutes into the first quarter here as the boundary umpire brings the ball back in again. Parry and McKenzie. Parry takes front spot, taps the ball straight down in front, where McKenzie works his way in front and rows his own rucking contest. Eventually the ball comes out to Fleming, who feeds the ball backwards to Hanby. He's got a free in the interim. The umpire says no, the South Adelaide players don't want the advantage, and the ball will come back to the former Richmond midfielder in Timmy Fleming, who in all likelihood will send the Panthers inside their 50-metre attacking zone.
There's the kick. It's a good kick too. It falls off hands. Daniel Shell was in there. He couldn't take it. A hand pass from Heath Hopwood gets it across here to Officer. Officer on the outer side of the ground on the half back line here for Centrals. He finds his teammate there. We'll find out who that is. It's going to be Hopwood. Goes in. May have been caught a bit high. Umpire says play on. Another player holding his head. The umpire seen a free kick, and it will go the way of Central District. And some rather interesting comments coming from the crowd up here. I don't know what our umpires observe. He's writing furiously. The umpires observe. He might be writing good comments. He may be saying, hey, do this, do that, whatever. But anyway, the ball's on the outer side of the ground, and it's one of the Gowans boys out there who gets the kick going foot. It may have been James. Picked up, though, by Smith of South Adelaide. He's lost the ball. Comes back to Hay. He can't control it. Now it's taken by McKenzie. A free kick to South Adelaide. A couple of boys just having a bit of a wrestling match there on the outer side of the ground.
Paid against Chris Gowans off the ball. Didn't like the tackling treatment he received there from his South Adelaide opponent.
I think it might be
Smith, yeah.
Smith now, the boy from Box Hill, to go back and drive South Adelaide forward.
He's got Fleming in board. He looks for him. No, he decides to go over his head to a further decisive advantage to Chris Hall. Fleming then runs past to receive the handball from Chris Hall.
50 metre.
None of it will count. You're dead right, Tate Kaiser. The umpire has paid a 50-metre penalty, and that will bring Matthew Smith within kicking distance just about. The man on the mark, Chris Gowans, is 55 metres out from goal as Tommy Hedge comes off for a rest, and coming into the action for his first run today is the big Dockland Brett King. And meanwhile, Smith has gone short of the lead of Jared Bennett, and as we called earlier, Tate Kaiser, Jared Bennett coming down for players that 7th forward to man up on Daniel Shell, getting himself into dangerous positions.
Yeah, well, Daniel Shell's about 20 metres off. I'm not sure whether they've switched or not, but he wasn't standing in. I said Jared Bennett just has to make himself dangerous, and it could have been a costly move by the Centrals coach.
Coming in the white boots, he'll kick from about 35 metres out, pretty much straight in front here at Noarlunga. Starts it out. Jared Bennett gets his first at South Adelaide 7th. They move on to 7-4-46, leading Central Districts 2-2-14, and it's a 32-point lead. We've played 25 3/4 minutes of the first quarter here at Noarlunga Oval.
Let's go around the grounds again and see what's happening for National Wireless two-way radio. First up at the Woodville Oval, here's Ben Pittman.
About 28 minutes in, a real fire in Canada down here. The Eagles by 15 points. The Eagles 3-5-23, leading Sturt 1-2-8. Now it's down to Brady Dell down at Alberton. Brady was 27 to make here at Alberton, and quarter just at the front, 3-7-25. Setting the base now 3-2-20.
Well, you can hear the breeze coming through that microphone. South Adelaide again surging forward this time. Right, Andy, the ball's picked up.
so easily. The forwards were spaced. They were sitting all right back near the goal square. Bennett could have been used again. He was 5 metres in the clear. Hamby decided to go long. A clever handball by Chris Hall, and Bill Davey finishes off.
See, that ball that Chris Hall took, that's tough to take. It with a strong breeze coming into your face. Tony showed strong, clean hit.
Very clever.
Absolutely. It gives South Adelaide a 38-point lead now as King, that's Brett for South Adelaide, jumps up against Mackenzie. Similar to Parry, King jumps early and misses the ball. It's taken now by Smith, who's looking up in the central tackle. And the umpire says that's nothing. No, it is Cochran holding the ball. He feeds the ball. The free kick off to Bello, who drives a left footer into Cowan. He's taken it. In the end, he was the only one up in the marking contest. And that signature big leaping chest mark that Luke Cowan has delivered many times over the years has worked on this occasion. He's taken a mark on a slight angle, dead set in line with that broadcast position here. He's going to have to kick it from about 38 metres out, I'd suggest, Doug, and it's not going to be an easy kick in this breeze. He must start it out to the left if there's any chance here. And he started at the middle of the goals, and yes, it has moved towards the right, from left to right, and didn't start it at enough left, take Kaiser, and subsequently paid the price.
Yeah, it was a quick kick in, and the South defender just got caught by the breeze. He was too far behind. Cowan ran in, took a beautiful chase mark.
2 points to Luke Cowan and South Adelaide 8-4-52. Lead Central's 2-3-15. Almost quarter time in the big game here, and obviously with the wind in Adelaide, it's pretty obvious too that South are kicking with the breeze. Little short kick came in there. It was taken by Kenner, who went back there with another hand pass. South Adelaide going forward. Big King, Big Brett King this time it is, who shows a fair bit of agility. Hits the ball towards the wing. Just didn't quite come off. It was Davis he tried to knock it across to. Intercepted though by Chris Gowans onto Bello, who in turn gets it across to Officer, who's been a busy player. Officer drops the ball in short. Up with Cochran, couldn't take the mark. And the South defenders deep down there in the back pocket. They mop up here, and the ball's dropped in short. And Michael Hamby playing his 50th game today. This time, goes with a backhanded hand pass. Gets it across here. Is that boy Copley? Is it? He goal, the centre wing goes with a big Central District 2-3-15. Almost 30 minutes have gone in the opening quarter. Let's get another comment from Tate.
Yeah, Brett Tucker got some very good pace there. He started, I think, 3 deep to take that mark out here on the wing. And then Warren, obviously had a shot at goal. We've got to do that, 50 out with the breeze behind you.
Meanwhile, Centrals have brought the ball back into play on the outer side. They've worked the ball up through Luke Cowan, who's fed the ball inboard to Marco Bello, running through the centre square now. It's a centre half forward position where Elijah Ware presents and marks. He goes sideways and it's going to it's a ball kick, and it's taken him by Ray Sampson. He's got Perry free, about a 20-metre short kick, but he says, no, I want to go long and direct in the wrong direction, and here he goes! Which is what he's done, takes out to 8-6-54. That's a 39-point lead over Central Districts, who are 2-3-15.
It's hard yakka being a defender down here today. He's very skilled, Mackenzie. His size. He really does move the ball nicely. Gets it out there to James. And didn't find the target about the first time ever. Not out of bounds on the full, but it is out of bounds. It's on the outer side of the ground, midway between wing and half forward. Central's in attack.
Well, he was looking for his brother, a twin brother and Chris there on the outer side of the ground, Doug, but kicking against the breeze today, you just don't need to over-possession the Burndale. It's one journey to go as it is against that breeze. As the umpire brings the ball back into play, it's penalty here. South. Backwards here with Clark. Takes a mark. As he'll line up from about 40 metres straight from goal, straight in front. He must put it out left to be any chance. But there's the difference, Tate Kaiser. Tyson Haven coming inboard, going direct as its way back, but not quite enough. Only enough to register a behind for the Bulldogs. They take 72 goals for 16, a 38-point deficit, leading South 654. They played 32 minutes of the first quarter.
Well, South Adelaide kick out, then you have to say was perhaps not their best. And they've got now at the half forward line, 50 metres out of goal. Listen now with a long shot.
Just a reminder to the boys to do it. Don't forget at the end of the main game today, we will have a tip and catch competition. Just a reminder that you request to remain off the oval until the players and officials have left the ground and wait for the second siren. A tip and catch competition starts today.
Certainly got the Mr. Cliff mark of the day so far, and you'd expect that from Ben Warren, I guess. In fact, I've got a feeling he's more likely to take it kicking into the breeze, when the ball holds up, and you float in the air for it. But anyway, that's the situation here as we approach quarter time.
Can we just get the runner out there and Doug and let him know that there is a courageous player here today, thanks to Auto Pro at Golden Grove, so we can get the trifecta.
Exactly, that's the one. We've seen plenty of courageous play here today too, as it's all locked up on the centre of the ground right now. Umpires letting it go. This is McKenzie. There's ball across to Tyson Hay. His acting captain. Hopwood kicks the ball down towards the wing. Hoffman is going to pick it up in the centrals. He's across to the middle left footer. In Marco Bello drives the ball right up in towards the teeth of goal. It was a very, very good kick. It bounces out of the arms of Michael Hanby. There'll be a free kick. No, there won't. Play on, calls the umpire. South Adelaide do the hand passes, and Heatley it is. Heatley, Ron's son, brings it down now towards the wing, as opposed to Jason's son. No, he hasn't got one, perhaps. I don't know. But anyway, the action back in the centre of the ground. South Adelaide have got it. Clinton King tries to pick up the ball. Coming through is King. Yeah, it wasn't King, it was Hay. Oh, I tell you what, it's strong and hefty stuff in there at the moment. Steinberger, 55 metres out from goal. There's his kick, but it was ill-directed, and Tom Heatley, I'll get it right, Tom Heatley takes a good relieving mark for South Adelaide in defence.
Terrific to see South Adelaide coach Robert Pyman putting some faith in the youngster Heatley and leaving him out of the ground following a couple of errors. That is the best way for him to learn, being out amongst the action. He brings the ball out here to Brett King. The big ruckman goes short in the Sampson direction. Clay doesn't muck around with it, kicks it long towards the 50-metre line. It goes over the head there of Yves Sibanela and Brent Tuckey, and you hear the umpire blow his whistle. That is an actual fact the boundary umpire right in front of us here in our broadcast position at Noarlunga Oval, where we're 36 minutes, if you can believe it, into the first quarter. If we were late last week, Doug, send our message out to our wives. We'll be even later this week. We mightn't be home until about Sunday morning, but we're 36 minutes into the quarter here. South 9-6-60, Central's 3-4-22. The ball comes in, and there goes the siren as Mackenzie wins that tap down. Chris Hall was going to have a snap at goal, but the siren beat him. And playing 36 minutes and 2 seconds of the quarter, South Adelaide at quarter time have a 38-point lead. They lead 9-6-60 to 3-4-22 and take...
He missed out there today. Luke McCabe also not taking his place on the side. Jeremy Ofterhide also from the selected lineup, and Paul Scott or so. Central's down on their personnel, but they do have some good depth. Not the same as last year, but they're a very, very good team, as we know. Big Mackenzie now gets his foot to the ball and drives Central's forward. Coming through strongly. Look at that. Scotty Webb just attacked that ball as if his life depended on it. He's all wrapped up, though, as he charged into a wall of Central District players, and that was an Auto Pro Golden Grove courageous player if I've ever seen one today. Wonderful stuff. South Adelaide lead 9-6-60. Central District 3-4-22. Just 25 seconds of the quarter gone. The ball up there, thumped away by Parry. Knocks it out though in the direction of a central player in Cochrane. Cochrane in turn gets it back here to Arnott, was it? Kicks the ball long. Good kick by Simon Arnott. Right up deep and towards the teeth of goal. Shell on the lead. Couldn't take the mark. Knocked away by Bennett. Scotty Webb it is who comes out now. That's a lovely kick into the breeze. Absolutely superb. He's kicked that one about 45 metres into a stiff breeze. Gets it on to Matthew Smith, and a beautiful pass from Smith. South Adelaide 55 metres out from goal. They're going with this hefty breeze. Chris Hall has got the ball now for South Adelaide. There's his big, long, booming kick. Big distance with that one. Little Davey down there scouting the pack. Knocks it across there to the big boy in King. Swings it round over his shoulder. This is Brett King. There's two Kings in the team. This is the taller of the two, and he's put it through for a minor score. So a promising build-up to South. Kicking into the stiff breeze. South Adelaide 9-7-61. Central District 3-4-22. The broadcast on Life FM. John Simon's here with me. Special comments from Tate Kaysler.
Yeah, it's, South just seem to have a little bit more run in them, I think, Doug. They're just a little bit harder at it at the moment, so hopefully they'll be a bit better.
Ball board long into the centre square. The crumb is taken by Parry. He handballs the ball over to Sampson, who pierces inside 50, breaks 1-2 tackles, steadies and bangs it straight through the middle for a decisive opening goal of this second quarter to South Adelaide through their inspirational skipper in Clay Sampson. He took possession of the footy. He burst inside the 50-metre line and kicked that 40 metres into the breeze. That extends South Adelaide's lead. They go to 10-7-67. Central District's 3-4-22. It's a 45-point advantage.
Yeah, very important goal there to South. Clay Sampson, he's been tremendous out there in the wing. They're having a real good tussle, him and Steinburner. So, you know, they need that run in the, when you're running up into the breeze.
Well, Clay lives down on the southern suburbs, and if anybody knows this ground, and there's a lot of imports in the South team, they've come in the last 2 or 3 years, but Clay knows it as well as anything, and both his goals, I think, have shown that he knows the way the wind goes and all that. Wonderful goals. There's the ball up. Centrals now. Can they break clear? Simon Arnott it is, who had decided that Craig Parry was a little bit too big to tackle. He's got the free kick, though. Got it out there to Mackenzie, who in turn got it on there to the boy in Hopwood. Kicks the ball very high in the air. Up went Shell. Couldn't take the mark. There's a hand pass. Comes back here. That was a wonderful goal. What a goal. Matty Slade. Sensational. And one of the best players going around in the SANFL who hasn't played in the AFL, Matthew Slade. That is a contender for the TJM Serious four-wheel drive goal of the day. Sensational stuff. Central's 4-4, which is 28. Trading South Adelaide 10-7-67. 3 minutes have gone in the quarter. Around the grounds once again at Woodville Oval, Ben Pittman.
Yes, thanks very much, Doug, and I'm afraid to say for the Double Blues, the wind is not making much of an impact here. It's pretty still down at Woodville. The Eagles have kicked away in this quarter. They're leading 7-6-48 to Sturt 1-4-10, a margin of 38 points at about the 12-minute mark. Now I'll throw it down to Brady Dell down at Alberton. Yeah, thanks, Ben. It's the 8-minute mark here at Albion, if you can hear me, guys, and it's gone out 5-3-33, leading the Port Magpies by 1.48-32. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
And back here at Noarlunga, the race is on for the ball. Deep down in the attacking zone here for Central District. Brett Tuckey has it now for South Adelaide. Goes with a hand pass across to Jared Bennett. Another hand pass back to Tuckey. Tuckey in turn got it across there to Tom Haitley, who's been pretty impressive after, as you mentioned, a couple of early mistakes, John. And this time another mark's been taken here by South Adelaide. And Negan it is who's taken the mark. On now to Bennett.
Feeds the ball out wide to Jared Bennett. He takes the time to have a little bounce and then just goes in short. And, well, it was a successful kick, but it was dropped by McGlone, clutching at the footy. He's then pressured by Bello. The ball comes out to Gowans, who feeds the ball onto Quinton Graham. He launches from about 55 metres out. It's coming around. I think it's good. And the umpire says, yes, it is. And that's how easily and quickly you can score with this breeze here today at Noarlunga Oval. A Matty McGlone error gives the Central Districts a goal. They move on to 5-4-34, 33-point deficit. South Adelaide 10-7-67. Special comments, Tate Kaysler.
Yeah, costly mistake there from South Adelaide. These conditions, obviously, and when you're playing against Centrals, once again, you can't make little mistakes like that. Just one interesting thing, saw Daniel Shell crash a pack just before. The trainers are quite concerned about him. He's a little bit wobbly, so it'll just be interesting to see how he goes. I know Jared Bennett's getting into him, so
certainly
we'll see how he stands up to it.
He is testing him out there. He won't let him go as Parry and Mackenzie go at it again. It's not a very big throw up, and that might be causing Parry some problems today. The ball up isn't going very high. South Adelaide win the clearance, but don't take it very far. Now Central's regain possession through Simon Arnott. He feeds the ball off to Tyson Hay, who's going nowhere. He's tackled once, he's tackled twice, and the umpire says, yes, that's holding the ball, Tyson, and the free will be taken by Clinton King, who'll send South Adelaide inside 50 as he goes in the direction of Chris Hall. He takes possession, feeds off a quick handball to Davey, who can't take possession of it. He knocks it on, and in doing so, the Central District opponent has jumped over the top of him illegally and taken him high, and Alwyn Davey will take the free kick about 55 metres out, kicking into the teeth of this breeze.
They just took Shell off, so obviously he's not feeling that well, and brought Elijah Ware on.
Feeds the ball over to the designated kicker and Chris Hall. He looks to kick the ball 50 metres, but that is almost mission impossible here today into the breeze at Noarlunga Oval, and the Central District defenders just rush the ball over for a behind. It's South Adelaide's 8th. They move on to 10-8-68. They've doubled the Bulldogs score, who are presently 5-4-34.
They won't catch Steinberger. He's on the outer wing. He's got a paddock to run into, but Lex to kick, and he's kicked it about 60 metres too. The race is on for it now. It's going to be Nagel doing battle out there with Elijah Ware. Nagel gets a fit of the fumbles, and the ball's gone across the line and out of bounds. Perhaps fortuitously too, because I'm not sure what he would have done had he grabbed it, but it's out of bounds deep in the forward pocket for Central. They trail at the moment by 34 points, 7 minutes into the second quarter.
Tate Casey, you did right. Daniel Shaw coming off there, Elijah Ware coming on and going to full forward, but correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Elijah Ware was watching the play then. He was led to the ball by about 30 metres.
He was caught behind. I think he was just cruising on and, got caught behind, but you don't often see two kicks and the ball sitting in the forward pocket on the ground like this, do you?
And you don't usually see Elijah Ware led to the ball either, do you?
No. He clearly wasn't watching then. As the umpire brings the ball in, Parry takes front position over Cowan, knocks the ball towards the boundary line, applies some pressure there to James Gowan, and the ball does dribble over right in front of the time clock here at Noarlunga Oval, which has at the 7-minute mark of the second quarter. South Adelaide with a 34-point lead after the use of a strong breeze in the first quarter. Parry goes at it again, takes possession of the ball, must get rid of it before being tackled, and does so to McGlone. McGlone around his body tries to clear the 50 but doesn't quite. Simon Arnott takes possession, feeds the handball off to Matthew Slade from an impossible pocket. He has kicked that, I think, and he has a second miraculous goal for the day, but from deep right, I think he was standing next to the bloke who was changing the numbers on the scoreboard there, Tate Casler, but that is clearly a TJM Serious four-wheel drive goal of the day. Central District 6-4-40, trailing South 10-8-68, a touch of class from Matthew Slade.
As I was saying at quarter time there, it'd be interesting just to see the skills of Centrals with this breeze, just how well they use the footy, their composure, and you see something like that, in the pocket with the breeze like that, a lovely goal.
A lesser team would feel crushed, even though knowing that they've got a breeze, I think, when a team kicks 9-6 against them in one quarter. Centrals are not that team.
They're not panicking, clearly not panicking.
There's the ball up. It's knocked on here by Parry. He leapt rather nicely then. Comes out in the direction, though, of Hopwood here, the acting captain for Central District. What a player he is, and this player's good too, Tyson Hay. He's one of the best kicks in the business. It's going to be a free kick. Umpire says it will go the way of South Adelaide, I think. Somebody was holding, and so the free kick will come back. And I'm just looking to see who's going to get it. Fair way from here.
Might be Davis.
I think it
no,
might be.
It's Sean Daly, 35.
Sean Daly, it is too, the only teenager in the South Adelaide team. He goes in short, kicking into the breeze, but it's ineffective. Grabbed here by Centrals in towards centre. Good mark. That is a contender, that one, for two things. The Mr. Clip mark of the day, and also the courageous play. Auto Pro Golden Grove bring us that one. It was a bit of both. He goes in short, and Tom Haitley. It's good to see. Tom Haitley's been at the club for a long time now. This is only his 10th match, and it's good to see him doing well today. Kicks the ball back down towards the half-back line here. The ball is grabbed this time. Comes out towards Officer. Officer is quickly dispossessed. And Little Smith, he's in there like a terrier. Umpire says, he doesn't play it to the ground. Matty Slade's knocked over. Tempers are fairly high. Everything's under control. I think he's getting his book out. Is he getting his book out? I'm not sure if there was a thump. I think it might have been just...
he is. No, Slade's in some trouble there. He appeared to strike his South Adelaide opponent, and the umpire has correctly picked it up.
Yes.
I would say a Theodore alleged, Doug, but it looked a strike from this direction here.
And not in one of the spots. I don't think you'd like to get it either there, John.
The South boy, it's Tim Fleming, who's just getting a little bit of treatment there from well, he's getting some encouragement from his teammates. I think I'll perhaps focus on that. Okay, while this little delay is taking place, South Adelaide 28 points in front. We'll go around the grounds again, and for National Wireless two-way radio, Ben Pittman at the Woodville Oval.
17 minutes in, boys, and it's the Eagles by 44 points. They really kicked away in this quarter. The Eagles are leading 8-6, 54 to Sturt, 1-4-10 here at Woodville. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell down at Alberton. Thanks,
suspended. It's drinks break here at Alberton, and the Bays are in front by 13 points. Accurate 7-4-46, leading an 8 pole and inaccurate at the moment 4-9-33. As the interest, Doug, the breeze here isn't all that strong.
Well, there's interesting situation there, and South Adelaide have got the ball through Fleming once again. It goes across here to McGlone. He drops the ball in short, and the mark taken by Chris Hall. He's been a good player today, Chris Hall, and what a player to have coming back to the SA NFL.
Slade
South
off the
Adelaide
ground,
going forward, and Matty Slade coming off the ground. Obviously, the coaching staff need to just have a little bit of a talk to him, just to cool him down a little bit. We know he's a wonderful player, Matthew Slade. He's kicked a couple of beautiful goals so far today. South Adelaide 10-8-68, lead Central 6-4-40. 28 points the margin, 11 minutes have gone in the quarter, and I'm trying to find the ball. Where is it?
Warren having a shot.
Benny Warren.
Goal.
And interesting with Slade coming off quite possibly for discipline reasons, has brought young Brody Hudson on for his first run.
Big moment for him, Ben Warren. I'd say he's too far out to score, though the breeze has died down. He's kicking from 55 metres. There's the kick for goal. It's gone across the face a little bit, right up in towards the teeth of goal. That's a good mark down there, deep in defence. Simon Arnott, I think it is, the way the two arms went up. Another contender for the Mr. Clip mark of the day. The action on the outer wing. Steinberger got rid of it. Little Davies in there, knocks it out there to a teammate in Brett Tuckey. Tuckey goes with another hand pass, gets it across to Michael Davis. South Adelaide go forward once again. It's a big kick right up in towards the teeth of goal. King was up very high there, but taken away by the Central defenders there. A kick comes out now towards the centre wing. It's Marco Bello out there. McGlone for South Adelaide. He's run across the line with the ball on the true centre wing in front of the 9 spectators out there. Most are seeking shelter from the sun on the members' side over here, John.
I can't work out why. Scotty McGlone there took possession of the ball, ran over the boundary line and threw the ball over the fence. Take Kaiser, that's a free against you in my book. That's unnecessary.
Yeah, normally it is, yes.
Perhaps his brother's out there and he's just passing the ball because the spectator did hand it straight back. Perhaps just a bit of light comedy here at Noarlunga. 12 minutes into the first quarter here. We're 2.5 minutes away from the drinks break in the second quarter here as South Adelaide lead by 28 points, 10-8-68 to Central 6-4-40. The ball camped on the outer side of the ground here, and South Adelaide would be more than content just to while away a minute or two here to the drinks break without allowing the Bulldogs to score. As the ball is tapped in by Sean Daly there. It's taken by Bello. He's well tackled by South Adelaide. That ball's going nowhere, and they will just hem it up. Take Casler.
Just as we saw in the first quarter where Central's dropped someone back, I just see now South have dropped their centre forward, Brent Tuckey, back loose in defence. Obviously a little bit worried. Central's had a bit of a run on there, so.
And Swatala playing loose at the other end of the ground then for the Bulldogs at the moment as the ball is still on the outer side of the ground there. We've whisked it up to 13 minutes in the second quarter here, and the applause you hear is the South Adelaide faithful acknowledging the fact that they're pretty happy that their players are putting some effort in today and not allowing the Bulldogs to score here.
Checking the scoreboard again, the Life FM broadcast, 10-8-68 South Adelaide, Central 6-4-40, 13.5 minutes have gone in the second quarter. South kicked with the aid of a very, very strong breeze in the first quarter. It seems to be coming and going, and listening to the guys at the other ground, nowhere near as strong as it is down here at Noarlunga, so maybe that's a sign of things to come. And kicking with that breeze and using it well in the first quarter could have a huge effect on the outcome of this game. Umpire's seen a free kick. It's on the half-back line for South Adelaide, and White Boots Bennett has got it. Good to see him back in the white boots too. He had the black ones on earlier this year, but goes with the white boots this time to the very, very brilliant little Alvin Davey. And
that's against the runner, Tate Casler.
Yes. Who is their runner these days?
Scotty Lee, I think, for Central's out there with the runners, Guernsey, and Scotty Webb is just giving him a mouthful there, just letting him know that he has cost his team 50 metres there as he makes his way off the ground now, but that appeared to be paid against Central District runner Scott Lee, and it's taken Alvin Davey from the half-back line here to just inside the 50-metre line into the breeze here at Noarlunga. He's going to launch the ball up towards the goal square. He does. Where's Warren? He can't get to that one, but off to Hyde Cannon. He takes an uncontested mark in the end, feeds the ball out wide, coming out to our broadcast direction in the area of Chris Gowans. He has found him. Gowans trying to push back off Daly. Daly did well to corral him and man up the mark. Gowans then runs around. It's a short chip pass, looking for and finding Richard Cochran, who goes deep in the direction of Mackenzie, coming back with the flight of the ball. It's Hedge. Doesn't go for the mark, but does win it at ground level. Feeds it off to McGlone, who finds the running Fleming. Fleming coming out of the defensive 50. Alvin Davey has pushed the over 120 metres to get that one and done so. Scotty Webb providing good run, looking in the Sampson direction. Spoiled again by Off to Hide. Scotty Webb with a brilliant piece of determination comes over and makes a contest and helps to bring the ball over the boundary line here. As that siren you hear isn't for full time, it is for the drinks break. 15.25 minutes into the second term at Noarlunga Oval, where South Adelaide lead by 28 points, 10-8-68. The AFL players training during the daylight hours often these days, and the photos in the paper, they're all wearing the caps. They wear their hats at training, so very, very sun-conscious, the players of today.
Some of our boys like to wear the zing, I think, so they stand out, Doug, not really just to protect themselves.
Now, this is North Adelaide. I won't mention any names. But they are a flamboyant team, and they've added a fair bit.
It's from the coach.
From the coach. He insisted some of them wear it.
He'd have to wear it on his bald head, wouldn't he, Jack?
Yes, it looks like a beanie, doesn't it?
I saw he wore the cap at quarter time last week. I think he had it off up in the grandstand and then at quarter time.
Yeah, he loves the bucket hat. He has to wear the bucket hat every week.
Well, I reckon if he wore the zinc on his head and you put a scoop of ice cream on top, you'd have the beanie. As we find Central District go forward once again. Big long kick. Up went Mackenzie. Couldn't take the mark. Hedges doing battle with him. Cowan's got the ball. He's thrown to the ground. He can't get rid of it. Yes, he can. Gets it across to goal. Nice little hand pass. Got it across there to James Gowans. Right up in towards the teeth of goal. Scotty Webb affects the score there. It was Daly who then went with a punch away again. South Adelaide, can they come out of this? No, they get a fit of the fumble. Centrals have still got the ball. It's Steinberger in there. He can't break his way clear. It's all locked up, and there's going to be a ball up 15 metres out from the Centrals goal. 28 points the difference here. The Panthers in front. 18.5 minutes have gone in the quarter, and still a strong breeze is blowing here at Noarlunga, and the crowd are pretty vocal too. John Simon.
Just some oohs and ahs there as the ball close to the Centrals goal. Any little mistake could cost them a goal. The Panthers is taken by James Gowans. He's running sideways towards the scoreboard, just making that shot for goal slightly more difficult for himself. And he's unable to bring it back all the way. It's through for a behind to the Doggies. They move on to 6-5-41. South Adelaide 10-8-68. And Tate Kaysler, South Adelaide will not want the Gowans to get too much of the ball for the remainder of the second quarter. The Gowans boys.
Yeah, they've started to pick up a few in these last sort of 5 or 6 minutes before the break there, and this could be cost them. Players like that, you can't afford them just to have a little easy possessions like that, because they'll absolutely, kill you on the scoreboard.
Ben Nagel had the job of kicking out for South Adelaide and did it to perfection too, as he got it across there to his teammate. South Adelaide going forward, and Nagel's run right up the ground. Here's a lovely left foot kick, kicking into the breeze this time. He's got it about 50 metres. It dribbles along the ground.
20 of it underground, Doug.
20 of it underground, but that is one of the most effective kicks into the breeze that I've seen all day. And it dribbles across the boundary line. It's on the half-forward line now for South Adelaide. Great effort, Ben Nagel. A courageous player of the day, in the sense that I guess he took the initiative, and not so much that he had opposition players running at him, but an auto-pro Golden Grove courageous play today.
And was rewarded for his hard running by the big fellow Hedge, who gave him off the handball. As the ball comes back into play, it's socket forward by Central Districts, where Smith will lead Bello to the ball. He takes it cleanly, also takes on the oncoming tackler. Feeds it off to Michael Hamby, who's inside the centre square here at Noarlunga Oval. Looks out wide in the direction of Sampson, who cleverly taps it over the head of Sibonela and then knocks the ball on to, I think it might be Davis. It is Michael Davis. He jams it on his left foot, but he can't bring it around far enough, and it's gone out of bounds on the full, right up against the behind post here at the northern end of Noarlunga Oval, where South Adelaide, 20 minutes into the quarter, bearing in mind we've had a 2 minutes drinks break in that time, have a 27-point lead. And it's brought back in by Swatala. He changes direction, gets to the outer side of the ground to Simon Arnott. Arnott will go along the boundary line looking for Officer. Officer takes the marks, thinks about handballing off but doesn't, then runs back and looks to kick. Now farms the handball wider inside to Hopwood, who's under some pressure, and goes immediately back outside in the direction now of Curry, who feeds the ball over to Bello. Bello's on his left leg, doesn't kick, handballs to Symes, who's free about 65 metres out from goal, now about 60, handballs again to Bello, who pierces inside the 50-metre line. Someone kick it! Finally, he has Marco Bello after a chain. Central Districts have taken that ball here at Noarlunga Oval with the breeze from their defensive 50-metre line into their attacking 50-metre line before someone's kicked at Marco Bello for a behind. Tate Kaysler, don't know if that's economic footy when you've got a 6-goal breeze behind you.
Yeah, the problem was their forwards had led out too early, and they were both sitting out on the 50-metre mark, and the boys were still 70, 80 metres out, and South had 2 or 3 boys just sitting in the square. So, yeah, he probably had to have a go in the end.
I think he was waiting for the goal umpire to lead. So it's 10-8 South, 68, leading Central, 6-6-42. We've played 22 minutes of the quarter. Sean Daly now goes out now towards the outer side. Tucky went up, couldn't take the mark. And play on calls the umpire now. Picked up here by James Gowans. He's on the half-forward line. He ready, wastes the kick, swings it round, and that's a beautifully placed kick. And the mark has been taken. No, it's not. It's been spilled. Umpire let play go on there. The boy went up. It was young Ben Fitzner. Couldn't take the mark. And Quentin Graham battling there for it. He's deep in the forward pocket. Centrals have still got control of it here. What can they make out of this? Will that be a free kick? No, it won't be. Play on calls the umpire. Richard Cochran in there. Feeds the hand pass out. A kick off the ground this time by Daly. It goes through the fingers of Tucky. Big Mackenzie, he charges through. And he had nowhere to go. He's actually seemed to be heading straight to the toilet on the other side of the ground that pulled up before it. I feared the toilet actually for a moment because he is a big lump of a man and a good footballer too.
Don't say that again, Doug. You might make me go. But South Adelaide doing enough here clearly to lead at half-time. I think we're seeing a different Panther outfit than what we saw 2 weeks ago. They will lead at half-time with the footy they're playing at the moment as the ball Central Districts have taken possession but have gone backwards 40 metres before Tyson Hay then kicks the ball forwards 40 metres in the direction of I think that's Hudson coming from behind Hedge it is, and the ball feeds out to Chris Hall at ground level. No, it's Nagel who looks over towards the Tom Hadley direction, but the ball beats him over the line.
Isn't his kicking action like Chris Hall's though?
It looked like Chris Hall from front on, I must admit. Very, very similar to Chris Hall's kicking, but then all we have to do, I guess, is look down at the boots. Chrissy Hall is obviously wearing the white boots, and that should be the giveaway.
It could be. I didn't think of that either. South Adelaide 10-8-68. Central District 6-6-42. We'll go around the grounds again in just a few moments. Here's a chance now for Centrals. They've knocked it towards goal. Jared Bennett working overtime down there. Scotty Webb's on the ground there. Play on calls the umpire. Oh, players here. They are. I think they've got in mind at the moment the Alto Pro Golden Grove courageous play because there's plenty of it. South Adelaide bring the ball out of defence and the ball's going to be all players across the line and out of bounds. The gentleman over there in the green top it is. It's almost camouflage with the trees in the background, but no, it's a gentleman in a, and he'd probably make a handy rucker over himself.
I can't tell you who that is this week, Doug. I know my brother's not at this game.
He's not at this game. G'day to Nick if you're listening in this afternoon. South Adelaide 10-8-68. Central 6-6-42. Let's go round the grounds and see what's happening for National Wireless two-way radio. And at Woodville, here's Ben Pittman.
Yeah, thanks very much, Doug. And Sturt have really come back into the match. They're only trailing now by 29 points. Still the Eagles 10-6, 66. Leading Sturt 5-7-37. Sturt have really come back in the second half of this second quarter. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell down at Alberton.
Just quickly, guys, it's half-time here at Alberton. Just an absolute sensational stuff up by the Bay supporters. Mark Clayton kicked the kick. The siren ran, the umpire called time, and the Bay's players just stood there and watched the ball go through for what can only be called a Shane Moore, an absolute pearl of leg break. The cause here at half-time is the Bay's leading by 2 points, 8-6-54, leading Port 7-10-52. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
And down here at Noarlunga, Central's trying to get that ball through the big ones. They've only kicked 3 goals, isn't it? 3 goals in this quarter, kicking with the breeze. And South Adelaide have kicked the one into the stiff breeze. And it's a very, very stiff breeze after South kicked 9 goals in the first quarter with it. At the moment, the Panthers 10-8-68, leading Central 6-7-43. And South Adelaide bringing the ball out of defence. And Big Craig Parry has taken the mark. But he's across the boundary line on the full. And there's going to be a free kick paid here to Centrals. It's on the outer side of the ground. It's a fair way from here, but it looks like Heath Hopwood.
Yep, Hopwood it is to bring the ball back in for Central. He could just about get it inside 50 if he chooses. He doesn't. He goes inboard to Big Mackenzie, who's free, feeds the ball off to Arnott, who goes laterally with his handball over to Sibonala, who kicks laterally with his kick out to Swatala. They've brought it over to our grandstand side to help us out, Doug. We thank the Central boys for that. And as Swatala kicks the ball inside 50, it's Rob Forster Knight who puts his body on the line and relieves the pressure for South, picks up possession, gives it out here to Kenner, who feeds the ball in the wide direction. He's taken high.
Courageous play.
As you hear the umpire play the whistle in the background, it was a contender for the Auto Pro Golden Grove courageous play of the day. As he's legged here by Central's opponent, he feeds the handball.
Now, why wasn't he given a 25 or 50 metre penalty
Chris Gowans just niggling. I think the umpire was just blinded, I'd suggest, by unable to see that Gowans was grabbing his leg, or just gave him the benefit of the doubt. But quite clearly, and this can get annoying because Centrals are the artists at it, if you like, and good luck to them for doing it, Tate Kaiser. But the rules stipulate if you scrag a player when you unnecessarily aren't involved in the play, he's got a mark or a free kick. It's gets a 25-metre penalty.
Yeah, what we've been told is if you're not in the contest and you come in, it's an automatic, 25, 50-metre penalty. So, and that's anything over a metre. So.
Yep, having said that, the umpires aren't a factor in this game, but we just would like to see that discipline enforced as the ball heading in the South Adelaide forward line. Clay Sampson is tackled, and the resultant free kick will go to Eves Sibanela, who will relieve the pressure for the Dogs. He's on the grandstand side over near the barbecue here at Noarlunga Oval and looks inboard, and that ball carries over the top of Heath upward. Thankfully, he's got some support there in the form of Symes. Symes looking for the lead of Hudson, coming out, can't quite take that mark at knee level, coming from behind Tommy Haitley, quite composed as he takes 1, 2, may look at a third bounce. He doesn't, he puts it on the boot and kicks it straight down the throat of Simon Arnott.
It was a beautiful pass, but it was to an opposing player. He in turn gets it across into Woods, centre of the ground. It's easy to chuckle up here, I know, because the breeze is so stiff. Heath Hopwood has the ball now. He swings it in towards centre half forward. Up they go. A lot of courage shown there by a lot of players. They're all going, I think, for the Auto Pro Golden Grove. Courageous play today. Coming out of defence there is Tom the Hedge. It was very, very good pressure there by Elijah Ware. And it was actually Big Brett King. I thought it was Hedge for a moment. They're both big, tall timber in the South team.
Tate Kaiser as a small forward. The value of forward line pressure there from Elijah Ware.
Yeah, fantastic pressure. Centrals are just finding it so hard to get inside their 50s. South are just flooding back numbers.
And they have got inside 50 here, and the ball has come out in the end to Ben Fitzner, who hurries around onto his left leg. But as he drives the ball into the Elijah Ware goals, Chris Gowan's direction, the goal square, it is young Scotty McGlone who gets his fist to the ball and punches it over the line for a defensive behind. Central Districts move on to 6-8-44. They're trailing the Panthers by 24 points to a 10-8-68. We've played 28.5 minutes here at the Noarlunga Oval.
Scotty Webb has been a wonderful player today down there in defence. The only player in that South lineup who's played 100 games with the Panthers, and it's taken him a while to get there. He's had hamstring injuries and all sorts of things. Former Solomon Town boy. His dad used to coach Sollies, as did Mark Bickley's dad. Not at the same time, of course.
It's a terrific effort, Doug. We'll see less and less of that in SNFL footy these days with the advent of young players going off to the AFL.
Exactly. The action back now with Tucky on the wing here for South Adelaide. That's a big booming kick into the breeze. He gets good distance with it. Waiting there behind, it's Warren who's got it for South Adelaide. He goes with the left foot kick across to Handy, who's got a paddock to run in. Can he swing around and kick a goal? He goes with a hand pass to Davey. He normally does something spectacular. Brilliant football, Davey. And Kenner's kicked the goal. That was just fantastic team football. If we had an award for the team player of the day, that would have got it. Alwyn Davey could have done the spectacular thing and had a shot, but he went for a big 20-metre hand pass. He landed it in the hands of Stephen Kenner, who's kicked his second goal. South Adelaide 11 goals, 8-74. Central 6 goals, 8-44. Comments from Tate Koesler.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was on Hamby, but he found himself about 30 metres in the clear. But once again, it's that poise. In conditions like this, you can't just blaze away. Poise through Hamby, Davey, over to Kenner for the goal. Beautiful.
Yeah, perhaps
play.
a couple of years ago, Michael Hamby may have looked just to throw that on the left boot and try and kick the miraculous goal. But as Doug Oakley pointed out, showed presence of mind to be a team player, handball the ball over to Davey, who did likewise to Kenner.
Let's go round the grounds again. Sorry, John, I'm butting in. I'm getting all excited. Just ahead of that, though, Elijah Ware, 50 metres out from goal. Missed this one. And South were kicking them. Centrals are not kicking them in this quarter. And that's basically the difference. So Elijah Ware, I've got it down as his first score for the day. Central 6-9-45. They trail South 11-8-74. We're approaching half-time. I know it is half-time at the moment at the Alberton Oval. But let's go to Woodville first of all, and we'll go across to Alberton and get a repeat of that score. Here's Ben Pittman at Woodville.
Yeah, thanks for that, Doug. It's just gone half-time here at Woodville Oval, and the Eagles are leading Sturt by 30 points. The Eagles are 10-7-67, leading Sturt 5-7-37. And we'll try down to Brady Hill now at Alberton for a half-time score.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, guys. The half-time here is the Bays 8-6-54, Port Adelaide 7-10-52. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
Good on you, fellas. We'll go back to you very, very soon and get some goal kickers. Michael Davis in defence here for South Adelaide. He decides to outrun Brodie Hudson, playing his first game for Centrals today. Down towards the wing, and a good mark taken down there on this occasion by, it's Michael Hanby once again in the action. Came across from, played I think for Dandenong in the under-18s, All-Australian centre-half back at the under-18 level. Came across, drafted by Adelaide, played with the Bays, your old club, John, but found his way down here at South Adelaide. This is his third year down here with the Panthers, and a pretty handy football footballer.
Yeah, terrific to see players that come over to the Crows or Port at that level, not really have a lot of AFL time or success, hang around in the SANFL competition. You know, Andrew Geddes at Sturt springs to mind as a successful one to doing that, and it's terrific to see other players such as Hamby doing so.
Chris Hall now, the white boots really showing out there, kicks the ball very high. Davey got up in front of the pack, but he couldn't take it. The ball comes out of that pack, couldn't pick up the Central's boy, but I can pick up Matty Smith for South Adelaide, who from about 40 metres out blazes away at goals. He's off target though, didn't really weigh up the situation as well as he might, and the mark taken deep in defence there by Cochrane.
Yep.
I think it is Richard Cochrane, deep down in defence for Centrals, and they've got the ball back down towards the wing on this occasion.
He's out in the opposite direction, but he is well tackled by his opponent there. The ball just dribbles out towards Big Brett King, who picks it up and handles, and well done by Ben Nagler there, who bustles off his Central's opponent, drives South Adelaide inside 50 to Warren. Warren is pushed out by Brad Curry, and the umpire has correctly picked it up. It's a very good decision from the umpire. Benny Warren jumping in a 1-on-4 situation there, just went at the footy, and his Central District opponent, Tate Kaysler, pushed him out illegally, Brad Curry, and I think that was a correct decision.
Yeah, Warren definitely gives a contest every time the ball comes in his area. The coach will be pretty happy with that, and that's all you want your forwards to do. If they can't mark it, bring the ball forward for your little Rovers.
Yeah, a bit more talk perhaps needed from the Central players there, because South Adelaide had no crumbing player in the area as well. All they needed to do was play the ball, bring the ball to ground, and could have swept it out. As it is, the free's gone to Benny Warren. He's 35 metres out on a pretty difficult angle on the outer side of the ground. Michael Hamby's plucking it through. The South Adelaide supporters, you can hear it plucking it through. The goal umpire's putting up two fingers to say that's all clear. Straight through for South Adelaide's 12th goal, and that is the third to Benny Warren. He's kicked 3-goal-1 today. They're playing 33 minutes in the second quarter here. South Adelaide have extended their lead now. They move on to 12-8-84. It's a 39-point advantage over Central District, who are 6-9-45. Special comments, North Adelaide Rover, Tate Kaysler.
Yeah, South just seem to be picking up. They just seem to have that little bit more run. You know, is it because of last week? You know, had the rest. Central's playing in what I heard of 41 degrees. You know, it could be starting to take its toll.
South right from the start though, their attack on the ball, and here's an example of it in little Stephen Kenner, who bursts his way through, kicks right up in towards the direction of Warren, but chipping back and taking a nice mark there is Eve Sipanada as the siren sounds for half-time in the game down here at Noarlunga.
And there's a mini-leaguer in front of the stug. He's going to have to hurry if he's got to get out there in time.
He is going to have to.
Thanks, Zach. Good luck anytime.
Look forward to your next article. Zach Milbank from The Advertiser joining us here at half-time as he hands the headphones back to Tate Kaysler. What if they played against each other up on the hills?
Oh, really? We didn't ask Zach who we played.
I do have a story. I actually went to school with Zach, and he's still yet to write a good article about me in the paper, so I'll have to have a chat to him, mate.
We'll watch out for that for the remainder of the year.
That in itself could be a scoop. We've just started 10 seconds of time here at the second. South Adelaide have got possession. They drive the ball forward, but ill-directed this time. A hand pass now comes into the direction of Bello. Goes, I think, that time with his right foot. It falls out of the hands of his target down there. It might have been Big Cowan, who lopes around like a kangaroo almost, the way he bounces around there. Comes back to Bello, across now to Curry, or Hopwood actually, Hopwood it is. The acting captain, Heath Hopwood. And according to Zach Milbank, the most valuable player in the competition, and a goal to Central District. And the boys put that one through as Richard Cochrane. That's a great start to Central District. They got the first goal in the first quarter. They kicked the first goal going into this stiff breeze in the third quarter. That could be an interesting goal. Central 7-9, 7-9-51. Trading South 12-8-80. A minute gone in the quarter. We'll go around the grounds because I reckon that they may have got things underway. For National Wireless two-way radio, and at Woodville, Ben Pittman.
Yeah, thanks very much, Doug. And it's 9 minutes into the third quarter here at Woodville. And the Eagles are leading Sturt by 37 points. The Eagles 11-9-75 to Sturt 5-8-38. Now let's throw it down to Brady Dell at Alberton.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. It's 12 minutes in here at Alberton, and Magpies third as normal. Port Adelaide 10-12-72, leading the Bays 8-9-57. We've just seen Ricky O'Loughlin kick an absolute barrel from inside the 50-metre line, inside the centre square, straight through the big sticks in the southern end. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
And down here at Noarlunga, it's been all Centrals in the opening minute and a half actually, of this third quarter. They've got possession again on the half-forward line. And South have hardly had a sniff in the first couple of minutes. Worrying signs for the South coaching staff, you think, Steve?
Yeah, definitely. I was just having a look up forward at Centrals to see who they started up there. They started up there with Cochrane and Fitzner, so they've gone medium. And as we see, Officers he's marked his spot again, and he's having another shot.
Put this one in the book. He's kicked 2 from there already today. The only problem is this one's not under pressure and on the run. So with a set shot, he might get the jitters. But for the way he kicked him before, you'd back him in. But he hasn't gone for goal. He's gone short. And how Quinton Graham can lead into that open space 20 metres in front of goal, I don't know, and I'm sure Robert Pyman might be asking the same question during the week with some video analysis of this game with his playing group. But in any case, it has eventuated, and Quinton Graham's taken an uncontested mark on the lead, about 20 metres out on a slight angle. Shouldn't have a lot of difficulty from there as he comes in and lays back on the ball, laconic-like. The goal umpire does a bit of running, but not far enough to signal it behind. He comes back in the middle of the goal and says that's straight through for a goal to the Central District centre-half forward and Quinton Graham. It's Central's 8th. They move on to 8-9-57, leading South 12-8-80. It's a 23-point advantage, but you still get the feeling, Tate Kaiser, that if South can kick 4 or 5 goals this quarter, they should be safe enough to hold on in the last quarter.
Yeah, they need to kick at least 4 or 5, but Centrals, as you see them going forward there, they just used the ball, didn't blast away because they knew they had nothing long to kick to, just chipped around and managed to get someone 25 metres out.
Harry gets the tap out. Clinton King grabbed it, got it across here to little Kenner. He's a neat little player. He's a left footer. He's only a midget in terms of size, but he kicks the ball a country mile in towards the 50-metre line. But Central District defenders are too strong. A hand pass from Officer gets it across here to Hopwood, who's been a good player today. And a player left unattended on the wing out there has taken the mark a long way from here. It's one of the Gowans boys by the looks of it. Chris. We'll call it Chris. And he in turn plays on and finds another teammate in...
Hopwood out there,
It is Hopwood again.
Hopwood will send Centrals close to inside the 50-metre line, but instead he comes across laterally to the big Mackenzie, who's made space just on the edge of the centre square on the outer wing here at Noarlunga Oval. He goes by hand back to Hopwood, who takes on and runs around his South Adelaide opponent in Hadley, but bombs the ball up very high and very wide as the South look to punch the ball out of bounds. It doesn't quite get there. Bello roving the front of the pack, swings the ball inside 50 in the direction of Quinton Graham, and he's taken it about 40 to 45 metres out from goal, virtually straight in line with our broadcast position here and the northern goal. And he'll go back, and if he can just sit this out to the left, Tate Kaisler, you would hazard that distance won't be a problem for Quinton Graham.
Yeah, no, he used his body really well there. He saw the ball was coming over the top, just used his body to hold him out. But I tell you one player, Marco Bello's got a lot of the footy this half.
In comes Graham, starts it towards the middle of the goal. It's hanging on, the wind isn't moving the ball as much as it was in the first half. And it's through for Quinton Graham's second goal of this third quarter, and his third for the game. A terrific effort from centre-half forward. Central Districts have moved on to 9-9-63, a 17-point deficit behind South 12-8-80, who haven't woken from their half-time slumber as yet. And Tate Kaisler, special comments today. We commented before half-time that Central's having some difficulty up forward. Well, they found some answers during the half-time break.
Yeah, definitely. They're just using their time a bit more now and having a look instead of just blazing away. So maybe it might be the way to go with the small forwards.
Marco Bello again almost got well, he was able to knock it forward. It almost came out to him again. Picked up this time by Elijah Ware. Central's looking very, very dangerous. The kick by Ware. Will it be a free kick? It will be a free kick here by Richard Cochrane. 20 metres out from goal. In opposition there to Scotty Webb. Umpire has allowed the advantage. James Gowans has put that one through. This has been a phenomenal start to the quarter by Central District. They have kicked 1, 2, 3, 4 goals unanswered, kicking into what is a really stiff breeze. Phenomenal stuff. Central's 10 goals, 9, 69. Still trading South. 12 goals, 8, 80. 6 minutes have gone in the quarter. And Gavin, I think you might have some AFL scores for us.
Yeah, just a quick one between Collingwood and Carlton. Collingwood have hit the front by 3 points halfway through the last quarter. Thank you.
Okay, back here at Noarlunga. In fact, we might go around the grounds right now and find out what's happening there. For National Wireless two-way radio, Ben Pittman at Woodville Oval.
Yeah, thanks very much, Doug. It's about 14 minutes into the third quarter, and it's the Eagles by 39 points. The Eagles 12-11-83, leading Sturt 6-8-44 by 39 points. Now it's down to Brady Dell at Alberton. Thanks, Ben. It's just about 17 minutes gone here in Alberton. We've just had to come back from the drinks break, and Magpies lead by 9 points, 10-12-17, leading the Bays 9-9-63. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
Back here now, Heath Hopwood, who's been wonderful careful in this quarter. He and Marco Bello have lifted their games immeasurably. James Gowans gets the ball. Out on the centre wing position he goes. It's going to be trapped here by the player in Cochran, who's been a dangerous forward all day. Kicks the ball round now, right up and towards the teeth of goal. The South defenders are content to knock it through for a minor score. Central District 10-10-70. South Adelaide 12-8-80. Just 10 points the margin now. Centrals have kicked 4 goals in this quarter in a remarkable comeback, and they've had players just firing everywhere. And South, it almost seems as though they've turned off the engine.
The value of intensity, Doug. Centrals aren't playing any players back. They're just winning the ball, getting first hands to the footy at ground level in the centre contests, playing in front of their forward line, and show a far greater deal of intensity than they showed in the first half. As South Adelaide bring the ball back in, it's taken here by Smith, who brings the ball inboard looking for Sean Daly. He takes possession of it, looks in towards the centre of the ground. Courageous is required and shown by Tim Fleming. An auto-play Golden Globe courageous play there as he feeds the ball off. The South go in the direction of Warren, but at ground level he hasn't taken the mark. Hedge comes over the top and knocks the ball forward to the excitement machine in Awan Davey, who runs onto that familiar left leg, and he signals it straight through for his second goal of the day, and a much badly needed goal for South Adelaide there as they move on to 13-8-86. Central's 10-10-70, and special comments take Kaiser. Whenever Awan Davey gets the ball, you know something exciting is going to occur.
He is pretty exciting, and he's around the packs at all the stoppages, but the courageous mark in the middle there by Tim Fleming, he had to go. It was do or die. If he hadn't have taken it, Centrals were away. Courageous mark, handballed it off and hit the hot spot. But I'm really impressed with Roy Laird, just with the small forward line. You know, he's lost his main man, but you know, mix it up a bit, have a go, see what happens. But it's been quite a good move so far.
I'd mark that one in for Tim Fleming. The courageous play from Auto Pro Golden Grove. It's one of those days, I think, John.
Say that 3 times quickly, Doug.
Go the Crows tomorrow.
Easy enough for you to say. Yes, go for it now, John.
Okay, the Centrals will get the clearance again through Elijah Ware. He throws the ball on the boot, gains about a scrubby 15-metre kick forward for South Adelaide. Sampson leads in the race to the ball. He's harassed off the ball. Now 2 South Adelaide players in Fleming and Nagel battle each other for possession of the ball, and that'll be deliberate, I think, as the South Adelaide player in Hanby made no effort to keep that ball in and left it straight over the boundary line. The umpire correctly played deliberate as Fitzner takes Centrals inside the forward 50-metre line, and another South Adelaide player this time in. That should be 25.
He's
reversed it. The South player in Parry took the mark, and Chris Gowans again cribbed over the mark when you shouldn't do that when the South Adelaide player has taken the mark, and the umpire, instead of giving South Adelaide a 25-metre penalty, has played it against Craig Parry and reversed the mark for taking Chris Gowans too high, and then appeared to what would be a 25-metre penalty, perhaps for mouthing off afterwards. And Tate Kaiser, it leaves me a little bit confused.
You always seem to get caught out when you're the retaliator. It always seems to backfire. So.
He's passed it off. No, he's kicked it over to his brother James Gowrie. He was 12 metres out, and he did a half little kick over his head to his brother James Gowan, standing in the goal square unattended, which is unforgivable discipline from the South Adelaide
defence. And he's got another free.
And he's dribbled it through for a goal, and there is another free here, as Parry has gone back at Chris Gowans and had another crack at him. And this is a defining moment in the game here, with the discipline of the South Adelaide side through Ruckman Craig Parry costing them dearly. Sure, some questionable umpiring decisions initially, but you cannot allow the Gowan twins to get under your skins.
Yeah, that one was actually Chris Hall. They were walking back to the middle, having a bit of a go at each other, and he pushed him fair and square in the back, but it was right in front of the umpire. So that's what the reverse was there for you. That's what they're good at, and that's why they get a lot of the footy. But you know, you have to wear that. You know what they do, so you know that's their advantage.
Good mark taken by Daly. Got it across to Chris Hall into centre half forward, and a very, very good mark taken there by Tucky. He in turn gets it on to Davis, up towards the teeth of goal. Warren has taken the mark for South Adelaide. This is the best way to retaliate, to come out and play good footy, and you've got to try and zip them out, but we are human after all, aren't we? And the lesser nature gives way from time to time, and we've seen it here today, and there's just no future in talking back to an umpire doing something silly as we've seen.
No, absolutely not, because you've got to have the discipline to cop the decision and get on with it.
Boy, it's easy from up here. In comes Betty Warren now, 25 metres out. I think he might have hit that one through. That'll make the South supporters smile. As a young man took a very good grab there. As a spectator down there deep in the crowd, and he's shouting his approval for that one too. And South Adelaide move along to 14 goals, 8-92, leading Central's 11 goals, 11-77. 12 minutes have gone in the quarter. We better go round the grounds, I think, Tate, before
Sounds
we
good.
get a comment. And first of all, for National Wireless two-way radio at Woodford in Pittman.
Yeah, thanks very much, Doug. About 18 minutes into the third quarter, and it's the Eagles by 40 points. The Eagles leading Sturt 12-12-84 to Sturt 6-8-44. So it's just a 40-point margin for the Eagles, and we'll throw it down to Alberton now.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. It's about the 23-minute mark here at Alberton, and 10-14-74, leading the Bays 9-10-64. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
And back here we find the action near the centre of the ground. Picking it up there is Chris Hall. He's eager to pick out because of the white boots, and also the way he delivers. Oh, lovely mark. Brett Tucky contended that one for the Mr. Cliff mark of the day. He had the front position, but he had to leap for it. That wasn't a real easy one, and he just looked copybook the way he took that. And he's taken this mark 50 metres out from goal.
Second time we've seen South Adelaide for their first two games this year, Doug, and that's what we've been waiting 2 weeks for to see from Brent Tucky. We know he's capable of doing it, having seen him do it at AFL level, and he just presented himself there and took a strong mark 50 metres out. As he'll line up for goal now, about 52 metres he'll kick this one from. Distance won't be a problem with that breeze, but he has hooked it fiercely too, and it's through for a point as it cannons into the top railing of the fence behind the goals there and stays within the confines of the playing arena. And it's a behind to Brent Tucky. South move on to 14-9-93, a 16-point lead over Centrals, who are 11-11-77, and the ball's brought back into play in the direction of Heath Hopwood. He's swamped upon by two Adelaide opponents. You could pay the mark all the three there, whatever you like. And he comes across laterally to, I think that might be Officer, who's taken possession of the ball. Still inside the defensive 50. In fact, it's Quentin Graham, I think. Yes, it is. It's Graham as he'll go relieve the pressure of the Centrals to the outer side of the ground. The breeze does hold the ball up. Hedge drops what he should take, and the ball goes over the front. But that ball will be punched over the line successfully by South Adelaide. Have a throw in. It's about 50 metres from the Bulldog goal on the outer side of the ground as we approach the drinks break here at Noarlunga Oval during the third quarter today. With 14 minutes, South Adelaide have a 10-point lead. 14-9-93 to Central's 11-11-77.
There's the throw it up they go. South get away there through Daly. Kicks the ball down towards half forward, and Tom Hapely it is out in front of Heath Hopwood. He's taken a mark. Heath Hopwood, I know he plays half-back, but sometimes you need to tag him, don't you? And I wonder if if Hapely's got that job. Kicks the ball in towards centre half forward. Big McKenzie put his arms up. He's been very good today. Almost took the mark, but coming away there. These Central defenders, a hand pass there from James Gowans. Got it across there to Steinburner. And look at him burn up the ground too, my goodness me. He's run about 50 metres there. He took a couple of bounces and then sends in a scintillating pass there to the boy out there on the other side of the ground. It looks like Officer. It is Officer. He's kicked a couple of miraculous goals from in that position. He's got a centre at this time though, and he's found an unattended player out there in Brad Symes, the young Port Power player. About 50 metres.
Steinborn feigned around Alwyn Davey there, who was steaming towards him, and the way Davey jumped in the air, I'd like to see him have a crack at the triple jump, though, the amount of height he got on that jump.
It's deep down in the pocket here for Centrals. As the siren sounds, that drinks break siren won't sound until there's a break in play. It had just gone across the boundary line. We'd gone the 15 minutes. So it's South Adelaide.
Next week for the title bout.
Simply choose the titles from 3 of your favourite songs, put them in a sentence, and you can add some other words in there as well. And the funniest sentence each morning will win a WOW 2005 CD. That's 34 titles on the one album.
Get your thinking caps on and be in the title bout next week in the Morning Boost for your chance to win.
The Morning Boost, 6 to 9 weekdays on 107.9 Life FM.
Spirit of the City, 107.9. Gavin Richardson with you in the studio. Before we go back to Doug and the boys at the Noarlunga Oval, just a quick update across the border. It's into the time on period in the AFL, and Collingwood have hit the front. They're in the front by 14 points, and guess what? Kangaroos are doing it again, coming from behind. Started time on there, and they're 7 points up against St Kilda. We shall keep you posted, but here's Doug and the boys at the Noarlunga Oval.
And South Adelaide going forward again. Hanby with the big kick. In comes Kenner. Magnificent pace. This could be the goal of the day. It's the point of the day anyway. He's on target. But he is electrifying, little Stephen Kenner. Oh, that was a TJM Sirius four-wheel drive behind of the day. It's 14 goals, 10, 94 South Adelaide, Central District 11-11, 77. Tate Kaysler, you have got the tagging job on him. He can run, can't he?
Oh, there's a fair bit of pace there. He burnt past Steinburner, so he's got to be fairly quick.
As the ball comes out wide there in the Hamby direction, he is tackled but releases the ball as he does so towards Davis. He chips the ball inboard, but it's all Centrals there, and Quinton Graham takes the relieving mark about 20 metres defensively in front of the South Adelaide goal. He goes short, and it's picked off almost by the South Adelaide player, but it's taken by Chris Gowans, who, well, unusually dribbles the ball out of bounds on the full. It was only about a 15-metre kick, but it was a blatant skill error there. And the free has come inboard to Brett King, who will send South inside 50 with a sideways pop to drop punt. It doesn't give any South Adelaide player a chance to even compete for it. And Mackenzie takes the mark and handballs off to Quinton Graham, who rushes his kick in the Hopwood direction. He can't mark, but gets the spoil. I think Clay Sampson's hurt his shoulder in that marking contest, and he's clutching. He's in some enormous pain out there. And Quinton Graham, he'll have to come straight off the ground, Sampson, as Graham takes the ball for South Centrals and steers it wide in the direction of Cowan. He's tackled by Bennett when he wasn't in possession. The umpire agrees and gives the free to Luke Cowan about 60 metres out inside the centre square here for Centrals. But the story here is with the South Adelaide skipper Clay Sampson, who will come off the ground and has re-hurt that shoulder in between Jared Bennett. Hasn't come back on the mark after being told a couple of times by umpire Colin Ralston to do so, and the umpire's paid a 25-metre free here, and Luke will bring Luke Cowan to within about 30 metres of goal. The applause you hear in the background is for South Adelaide's inspirational skipper Clay Sampson, who has shrugged the trainers off him and said, no, I'll continue on here. My side needs me out here. He is favouring that shoulder, but showing some genuine courage, Nick Revolt style, and getting back involved in the play.
I think what you'll find is it actually popped out, and because they were pushing pretty hard on it, and it popped back in. So maybe it feels a bit better after that.
It can't be in great nick in either way, but it just reminds us of Nick Revolt in round one, Doug, with an injured shoulder the captain wants to play on. Let's just wait and see if a couple of Centrals boys go and test him out.
Well, I was just, when he went down with it, it sort of posed the question, didn't it? You know, and thankfully no Central player went up and tested him on that, because, you know, I thought it was an ugly thing that happened when you know that a player is genuinely injured. But on this occasion, Clay Sampson is up and about, and that's the main thing. It's good to see.
Not whilst trainers are being attended to him, but once he's back in the field of play, I mean, it's a physical game, and you have to be prepared to take the physical knocks.
Waiting now for the ball to be thrown in. South lead by 16 points. Almost 22 minutes of the third quarter gone. The action down here at the Noarlunga Oval. Pretty entertaining game of football. South Adelaide and Central District. Central's break clear this time through Elijah Ware, the young power-listed player. Power-listed, power rookie. Listed, that's right. He's a good player too. Really made his mark with Centrals last year, playing in the finals, but his kicks out of bounds on the full this time, kicking into the breeze, and McGlone, the recipient, gets it across here too. The former AFL player with Richmond, and Tim Fleming, played 18 games with the Tigers last year, drives it in towards centre half forward. That's not a good kick, that one, because it lands right in the hands of Ben Fitzner, chipping in nicely. It's a good sort of a mark. His kick is intercepted this time by Clay Sampson. Goes with a left-handed hand pass, gets it across here to Chris Hall, sends it as a beautiful pass. He's passed it about 45 metres right into the chest of Tucky, who will kick from 55 metres, and if that was me, I'd have a shot.
And I think he will, Doug. He has started this one out in a bit better direction, out towards the right.
It's a goal!
He's got the distance. Well called by Doug Oakley as Brent Tucky from 55 metres launches a long drop punt goal for South Adelaide. Much needed goal. They move on to 15-10-100. Leading Central is 11-12-78. It's a 22-point margin.
We've got another AFL update. Gavin Richardson.
Yes, Doug, I've just heard that the St Kildas have gone down to the Kangaroos by 100 points to 93. It's a 7-point victory to the Roos.
Good on you, Gavin. Bearer of bad news. Thank you for that, for all the Saints supporters. But well done to the Roos. My goodness, aren't they? They're a bit of a surprise packet, aren't they? They really have done well.
They give you value for money. They're fast finishers again.
They are. There's the action once again. Cowan gets the tap out. South will grab it though. A hand pass there from Hanby. Gets it across to Fleming. Fleming on now to Michael Davis. He'll go with his left foot. That's a nice looking kick too. He had the breeze behind him. In fact, it was too good. It went over the head of Sibanada and also Tucky. Sibanada backs up well though. Gets a hand pass out there to Swatala. Sounds like soccer with European names like that. Oh, little Davis came in with a hand pass. Gets it across now to Kenner. It's a point. He's off target with that one. And South Adelaide now move along to 15-11, 101. Central District 11-12, 78. The margin now is 23 points. Comments from North Adelaide's Tate Kaysler.
Yeah, it's going to be very important these last 10 minutes. Centrals have held them fantastically, and I think if they went in about this much down, they're a fair chance in that last quarter. So they've really got to close them down these last sort of 10 minutes and hold on to this sort of, 25-point lead.
Conversely, the Panthers looking for 2 or 3 more goals to shore up their position. As the ball's taken by Davis, he snaps the ball goal square bound, and Brad Curry does very well to push Warren out of the way and allow Tyson Hay to take an uncontested mark. Feeds the ball out to Quinton Graham, who in turn relieves the 50-metre defensive area for Centrals by finding their wingman in Benny Fitzner. Opposing number 24, and South Adelaide skipper Clay Sampson stands the mark. Interestingly, Tate Kaysler only putting his left arm up in the air, standing the mark, not his right.
When he took that mark in the middle before, it really stretched him, and you saw him hold it after, so I think he's in a bit of pain.
Fitzner kicks the ball to the contest provided by Brody Hudson and Jared Bennett, and the ball's pushed over for a boundary throw-in.
23 points the margin here, South in front. Let's go around the grounds again, sorry John, and we'll find out what's happening at Woodville Oval. Ben Pittman.
Yeah, thanks very much, Doug. It's 3/4 time here at Woodville Oval, and the Eagles are leading by 46 points. The Eagles 15-13, 103, leading Sturt 8-9, 57 by 46 points. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell at Alberton.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. 3/4 time here at Alberton, 11-14, 80. In a tight one, the Bays 11-11, 77. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
And back here at Noarlunga, the action on the outer side of the ground now. Nathan Steinburner. He takes one bounce and then kicks the ball rather well into that breeze too, and very, very effectively. And Kane Officer, he's been a good player today, has taken a good mark. Midway between wing and half forward, drops the ball in short. The pack go up. It comes off hands. It's going to be picked up though by the South player there in Matthew Smith. Kicks it very high in the air. Up goes big Luke Coward in the centre of the ground. Took a good chest mark. Plays on with a hand pass. Gets it across here. It's like little Bello. He's going to take him on. A hand pass. Gets it out here in the direction of a teammate in number 24. Who's that lad? Ben Fitzner again. That's right.
Oh, clever.
Oh, good football. And Centrals
Hudson
have got the mark. And the boy with the mark is young Brody Hudson, first gamer. 23 points the margin. South in front. Comments, Tate Kaysler.
Yeah, once again, an old head, Steinburner, running into 50. Had nothing really to look at. Just a little chip over the front for the first gamer.
As we see Alan Davey come off and take a break with Clinton King coming on, and just before that Timmy Fleming goes off for a breather, and Rob Forster Knight into the action. Hasn't seen a lot of game time today for South Adelaide, but he's on the field as we speak now. And in comes Brody Hudson. Could it be his first goal in league football? No, it won't be. The umpire goes skedaddling a fair way over to his right and signals one behind. It's Central's 13th. They're 11-13, 79. They trail by 22 points. South Adelaide 15-11, 101.
Just heard word down the line that Collingwood have defeated Carlton. Am I right, Gavin? Collingwood have defeated Carlton in that one, and the Kangaroos defeated the Saints. I got 2 wrong today. How about that? So there we go. I think I picked Melbourne last night, though.
Don't think you're the Lone Ranger there, Doug.
As Nagel comes in, kicks out. There's a contender almost there. Luke Cowan almost took the mark there for the Mr. Clip mark of the day. Didn't hold it, though. Umpire says a free kick to South Adelaide, and their inspirational captain and Clay Sampson's got it. That's a lovely pass. Beautiful kick. And he's found his teammate, too, in Tom Haitley. 70 metres out from goal. The way he kicked from full back in the first half, he'd be a chance, you know.
The crowd are willing him on to have a shot.
Come on, Tom.
And he thinks he will, but in trying to go the distance,
that's not a bad
just got
roost.
up and under it. 60 metres, and Benny Warren has taken the mark, and he's going to play on his ear and give it to Kenner. No, Kenner says no. Just hold on, Benny. You're our full forward and major spearhead. Go back, son, and do what you're paid to do. Kick goals, and he's taken that mark amongst a pack of about 3 Centrals players. Stood tall. The ball from, obviously knew his teammate and Haitley the best. Knew that his kick would carry as it did. It's a beautiful check side kick. No doubts about that one. That is straight through the middle. Through for a goal. There could be a bit of action here as James Gowans grabs Benny Warren by the throat. We might see another free kick here before the ball gets back to the middle. Tate Kaysler, it's still on and over there. James Gowans and Benny Warren.
Yeah, he's just getting into it a bit. I think Benny was telling him how good a kick it was. So, and you know the Gowans don't like that.
Fifth goal to Benny Warren. South for 16-11, 107. A 28-point lead over Centrals, who are 11-13, 79. And full credit to Benny Warren there. He knew that his teammate and Tom Hatley can launch that ball 65 metres and stood in the right place to take the mark.
5 goals, 1 we've got down here for Ben Warren. That one too will mark down as a contender for the TJM Series 4-wheel drive goal of the day, and also a Mr. Clip mark of the day just for the judgment. Into centre half forward, and South have got the mark here, and Clinton King has taken it 55 metres out, but with the howling wind behind him, he's got a near chance.
Not renowned as a long kick.
No, he's not a real long kick as he goes in short. He's looks out here for Warren, who knocks the ball, has the ball knocked away by Curry. It was good football. Here's the speedster in Kenner. He's going to centre the ball. Kicks it high in the air, and magnificent kick there by Stephen Kenner, the boy recruited from Carlton. He's got some skill.
He saw Sean Daly then, there's no doubts about that. Looked over his shoulder and thought, I can't kick an impossible goal from here. Are my players in the right spot, in the hot spot there, when young Sean Daly was? And it was just a magnificent piece of vision.
Sean Daly, he's got a reasonably unorthodox kicking action. You watch him as he comes in now, kicks for goal, lets it go with both hands, but makes no mistake with that one. And he's put it straight through the middle. South Adelaide 17-11, 113, leading Central District 11-13, 79, and it's been a comeback by South after a magnificent first half in this quarter by Centrals. 30 minutes of the quarter gone. Gavin, have you got any more details there in the AFL for us?
Yes, Doug. Collingwood have defeated Carlton with a great comeback from half-time. Collingwood 20 goals, 8, 128 have defeated Carlton, 16 goals, 12, 108, a 20-point victory there. And the Kangaroos have come from behind all day and have won the game, 15 goals, 10, 100 to the Saints. Sorry, Doug, that's your team. 14-9, 93, a 7-point victory to the Roos.
As the ball's taken here by Chris Hall, drives the ball forward for South inside 50. Tom Hatley leads in the race as Steinberner comes at him. Hatley throws the ball on the boot, but very difficult from that vantage point to score. And actual fact, it's pushed wide and gone out of bounds in the full. As we hit the 30.5-minute mark, South Adelaide have a 34-point lead here. And Tate Kaiser, is that enough, or do they need one more?
I think they need 1 or 2 more just to consolidate. You know what Centrals are like, very good finishing side and kicking with that breeze.
It's Quinton Graham now who relieved for Central District. He decides to switch play rather dangerously against that breeze, I would have thought, over to the outer side in the Chris Gowan's direction. It's knocked back into play here as Clinton King comes out and applies some pressure. And the ball just does dribble over the boundary line. The boundary umpire will throw it in. 31 minutes played here in the third quarter at Noarlunga, where South Adelaide lead by 34 points. It's a boundary throw in just in front of the scoreboard here on the outer side, 50 metres from the Panther goal.
There's the throw in now. It's going to be Cowan and Tucky. Tucky might have got the tap out. Taken here by Michael Davis, who's had a few kicks today. Heath Hopwood, he has the ball deep in defence. Drops the ball in short, and the mark is taken there by Elijah Ware. He's about 50 metres around from his defensive goals now. It's a nice little kick. Goes down towards the wing, and a good grab taken out there on the outer side of the ground by Kane Officer. As I mentioned several times, he's had a fairly good game. He's kicked a couple of miraculous goals.
Doug, has he come over this side of the ground at all today?
Kane Officer. He hasn't, but he hasn't needed to. You can't kick goals from this side, but you can. You can kick flukish goals from the other side, as he showed us. Absolutely right there. A couple of seagulls have come over our way. Look at them flying over the stand now. Somebody's got the chips out, no doubt, as we're waiting now as... It's Arnott, isn't it, on the outer side of the ground. He drops the ball in short. So it's about all you can do with the breeze so stiff. It's been a stiff breeze all day. 32 minutes of the quarter gone. South Adelaide leading at the moment by 34 points.
Yeah, it appears as though Central are just putting up the shutters and they're prepared to say, we think we can catch this lead. We're not going to give you any more score, South, as they chip it back to Arnott, who chips it backwards to Tyson Hay. You would be forgiven for thinking we're in the final 2 minutes of the actual match here, but we're not. The final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Centrals are running the clock down. As Tyson Hay may have turned it over here, goes in the Stratala direction. Kenner comes from nowhere to apply some pressure. Well, not once, but twice. Eventually, Tyson Hay runs over to support and mop up, and now he will swing inboard on his left foot and again go out wide looking for Hopwood. And he stands tall in the mark, well spoiled there by Michael Davis. He's outnumbered here against Hopwood and Chris Gowans, but does sufficiently to get the ball out of bounds, and then does something silly off the ball. Hopwood bumps into him. Davis illegally tackles him for no reason when the ball isn't in play, and he has been given a free, Heath Hopwood, and he'll regain possession for the Bulldogs on the outer side of the ground here on centre wing, and he'll look to chew up some more valuable time here. as the clock ticks over to 33 minutes. Hopwood goes forward up the boundary line. Sampson can't take the mark. The ball eventually comes out to Scotty Webb. He drives it long with a mongrel torpedo type punt that's gone to about 17 trees back on the outer side of the ground. I'm not even sure if it stayed within the arena. Has it gone over the fences? A spectator runs and chases it, Doug Oakley.
South lead at the moment by 34 points. Hello?
There's a blue one out here.
There is a bit of a blue. Someone got rather excited in the stand. There is a blue behind the play. We'll just keep the glasses on that. We're going to go around the grounds in just a few moments.
You're not going to believe this is the Gowans over there.
I don't believe that. Now I'm trying to work out.
Well, it's a free kick was paid to Central on their half-forward line about 8.
Once again, just a reminder to members and supporters that after match meals will be served on 5 o'clock downstairs in the cafe. Just a reminder, after match meals at 5 p.m. prior to presentation is
Welcome back to Noarlunga Oval. 7 seconds have gone in the final quarter. South Adelaide get away from the centre there. They get the first forward thrust, and Matthew Smith it is who dribbles the ball in towards centre half forward. South going into the breeze. Central District have got the assistance of what we reckon is a 6-goal breeze. They trail at the moment by almost 6 goals. 11-13, 79 Centrals. South 17-11, 113. Is that enough to win? Who knows? Robbie Forster Knight, the power listed player. Former Essendon boys got the tackle on. Oh, I thought that should have been a throw there. The umpire says it was okay. We won't be too hard on him, but the ball's out of bounds, and it'll be a ball in on the half-forward line here for Centrals. John Simons.
It's probably enough to win, Doug, but South don't want to go ultra-defensive. They are playing a loose man in defence in Sean Daly. Centrals aren't manning it up at this stage. One loose is fine. Let's not hope to see 2 or 3 or too many throughout the course of the quarter.
Big throw in, a hand pass there came out from Chrissy Hall, gets it across in the direction of Clinton King, couldn't pick it up. Brilliant football. Bello goes with his non-preferred right foot. It's going to be a big effort here.
Daly.
Lots of courage. That is the Auto Pro Golden Grove. Courageous play. One of them anyway. It was Sean Daly who got underneath that. But the long and short of it is that it's been snapped through for a minor score by Benny Fitzner. So he's kicked a couple of behind so far. Central's 11 goals, 14, which is 80. South Adelaide 17-11, 113. And some pretty thrilling football to start this last quarter. John Simons.
Nagel brings the ball in for South. He just goes short and finds Hanby, who will go short and wide out in front of the scoreboard and find McGlone. McGlone in front of the scoreboard, which reads, a 33-point lead to the Panthers as we approach the 2-minute mark in the last quarter. McGlone chews up some time and then goes short to Chrissy Hall, and what Centrals won't want to do is allow South just to chip away and eat some time up here, which is exactly what Hall's going to do again, and goes short to Clinton King. Centrals need to man up and man up tightly. King's going to do the same thing, and he does. Finds Scotty Webb on the outer side of the ground with Daniel Shell standing on the mark. Webb's going to come in board, I think, to Chris Hall and chew up a bit more time. Chris Gowans needs to go across to him and man up, and he has done so now, but in doing so it's freed up a little bit of space here for Scotty McGlone to move into, and that's what he's done. South Adelaide are being patient here and just chipping the ball around. Now a bit of run from behind and movement, and Scotty Webb receives the ball back and then looks out wide in the direction of Matty Smith and finds him with a nice kick. He's on our grandstand broadcast coverage side wing. He's got Forster Knight out wide, and he's going to use that player and does so. South are being very patient here, and the skills are holding up with little 15-metre chip passes, and now Forster Knight's got it. He's going to be forced to kick to a contest here, and he is in the direction of Benny Warren. who steams out, but Brad Curry right alongside of him managed to get an open sort of palm, half fist away over the boundary line. Tate Casler, how do you see the tactics of South Adelaide 3 minutes into this first quarter?
Yeah, it's okay to do that, I suppose, but, you know, wasting time's a thing, but you got to still get it down, and I prefer to attack myself. You know, you see it in the AFL these days, you know, time wasting, it's just boring footy, really.
You are a North Adelaide player, that's why you say such a thing.
Joe says you must entertain.
Yeah, exactly. He wants us to play with flair, entertain. That's what people pay the money to come and see. So
Centrals have got the ball out of defence now. The race is on for it. It's going to be Sivanata in opposition there to Tucky. Sivanata wins out there. He swings the ball round and he's got players running everywhere for him on this occasion and racing down the ground there. It looks like it's going to be Brad Symes there. What's he done? Oh no, he's muffed it this time, but it's going to be Centrals who will break their way clear into the centre of the ground, and the mark is taken here by the Centrals boy in... We'll pick him up in a moment. It looks like Adam Swatata, number 43, on now to Steinburner. He's in the centre of the ground. He's going to kick it 60, 65 metres. It's a huge kick. Up they go. Comes off hands, and it's going to go out of bounds right beside the behind post. One good kick from there, and it took South about 6 or 7 to get it out of defence to that position. So at the moment, we've got a margin here of 33 points, 4 minutes into the final quarter. We'll just stay with it for a moment, fellas, before we go around the grounds. We know in the AFL today, Collingwood have defeated Carlton by 20 points, and the Kangaroos defeated the Saints by 7 points. There's the throw in. Big Brett King it is who gets the tap out, a two-fisted tap out, and thumps it toward the boundary line in the direction of Clinton King, but it eludes him and goes over the line and out of bounds. Just around from the scoreboard, it reads South 17-11, 113, Centrals 11-14, 80.
The boundary umpire tiring as well as the players are. Luke Cowan needs to acknowledge that and know that this throw is not going to go very far into the breeze and not allow King to go uncontested, as he's done for a second time. And Chris Hall takes possession of the ball, feeds the ball out wide to the ruckman and Brett King, who throws the ball on the boot very quickly but doesn't clear the 50-metre line. Arnott will send Centrals back inside 50 looking for Fitzner. Ball carries him. It's picked up by Big Hudson. Feeds the handball off to Elijah Ware, who rather laconically snaps the ball over his shoulder. I feel he could have probably straightened up and had a direct shot at goal, but in doing so he has missed and put it through for a behind. It's reduced the margin to 32 points at the 5-minute mark. South Adelaide 17-11, 113. Lead Centrals 11-15, 81. Special comments, North Adelaide Rover, Tate Casler.
Yeah, well, South are doing well at this stage, you know, just to hold it up and not give Central that easy kick in forward. But as I said, I'd like him still to attack, because if you go too defensive too early, it might come down the last 2 minutes, you might be a point down. So
good on your tape. The margin now is 32 points in favour of the Panthers. 6 minutes in the final quarter gone. Nagel kicks in as we go around the grounds for National Wireless two-way radio. And first up at the Woodville Oval, here's Ben Pittman.
Yeah, thanks very much, Doug. It's the Eagles by 49 points in. Yeah, we're in the drinks break at the moment. The Eagles are up 18-16, 124 to Sturt 11-9-75. A margin of 49 points in the drinks break. Now we'll head it down to Brady Dell down at Alberton.
90-minute mark here at Alberton. Port Adelaide 15-14, 104. Leading the base 13-12-90. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
And down here at Noarlunga, sorry I was half listening. It's a free kick here to Centrals, and the free kick goes to Luke Cowan directly in front. He went up for the mark, spectacular effort, and he's been paid the free kick there for a push about, let's see, 12 metres out from goal, and he's going to go push in the back.
Push in the front, actually,
push in the front.
Push in the front. The player coming at him didn't have eyes for the ball, and Luke Cowan did.
Well, you've got to protect the player going for the mark like that, and Cowan comes in and he drills that one. Central District 12-15, 87. South Adelaide 17-11, 113. I would say that's probably one of the rules that most spectators aren't aware of, and you know, every time it happens you hear the boos go up, but if a player takes his eye, you've got to protect the player going for the mark.
Yes,
always.
Certainly the commonly known free is the push in the back, but if you are pushing a player and not attempting to go for the footy, that is a free kick as well, irrespective of whether the ball is within 5 metres or not. And Luke Cowan was illegally pushed then whilst trying to go for whilst making the ball his primary object.
The excitement machine's back on the ground for South Adelaide. This is Alwyn Davey. He's back on the ground here for South. He's down at the southern end, the Colonnade Shopping Centre end. And that end is not the one favoured by the breeze. It's probably a 6-goal breeze, we reckon.
As we wait for the ball to come back to the middle, Doug, 7.5 minutes into the first quarter, the interesting thing is the last quarter we saw Centrals kick 5 goals into the breeze prior to the drinks break, a 2-minute break, sides regather. What happens afterwards? South Adelaide come out and kick the only 5 goals after the break. What's going to happen this time with the crucial drinks break, and which side is going to carry the momentum into that break and be able to hold it?
Going to be interesting, isn't it? There's the ball up they go, taken here by King. That was done spectacularly across to Kenner. That's good football. Goes with a hand pass on now to Hall. Hall swings it in towards centre half forward, and wonderful tackle by Davey this time as he affected that spoil. It comes out though towards the wing. Centrals have got control of it. Graham, who's been a very good player for Centrals today. The ball bounced awkwardly there for Bello. Couldn't take the ball away. A hand pass from Hanby, who's been pretty good today. Gets it over here to little Kenner. Kicks the ball very, very high in there. Up they go. Almost a one-hander. A Mr. Clip mark of the day attempt anyway, but no mark paid on this occasion because the ball simply bounced out. But there's going to be a ball up about 30 metres out from the South Adelaide goal.
They hold a 26-point lead here, 8.5 minutes into this last quarter. As Mackenzie makes his way in to take this contest against, I think it'll be Hedge. And then the ball is thumped by the third man in over the top. Quentin Graham knocks the ball to the advantage of Steinburner. He's got 100 metres here with no one in front of him. Takes a couple of bounces and then launches the ball long inside 50 in the direction of Cowan. Hately's with him. He punches the ball, but Cowan keeps his feet as Hately loses his. Feeds the ball back to Cochrane, who's hemmed in against the scoreboard. Brings the ball in centrally as Shell leaves in the possession of the ball. Takes the handball, gives it over to Elijah Ware, who hits the post in another around-the-body shot at goal. And I say it again, I don't want to sound like an old broken record, Tate Kaysler, but I'd like to see players straighten up in front of goal.
Yeah, once again, he probably had time just to straighten up and slot it straight through the middle.
Tell you what, Tate, I reckon John's got a scratch on the CT.
Well, it's a third point for Elijah Ware, and had he kicked those couple of goals, Centrals are right back in the game. As it is, they bring the ball out through Forster Knight, who dangerously kicks the ball to Bennett in the middle of 3 Central District players, but he takes possession. He'll go short again to South skipper Clay Sampson, who wastes no time in playing on and going in board. A terrific kick, brilliant vision, gets the ball on quickly to Hall, who's got Davis running past him now. He feeds the handball to Davis's advantage. He goes on the left foot. He's got a player out wide and free in Kenner. It carries over the top of him, but he can have a shot on goal if he likes, but instead he puts a low pass into Ben Warren, who takes it cleanly on the half volley, but is then tackled by Curry, who was right with him. Feeds the ball back to Kenner, but he's going nowhere as Matthew Smith comes off the ground for a break, replaced by Timmy Fleming. And South Adelaide could have scored then through Kenner. He tried to find the spearhead in Warren, but it was very tough for him to take that one at ground level. It's balled up here now, 20 metres from the South Adelaide goal. It's taken for Centrals by Symes, who feeds the ball back to Arnott. Arnott drives the ball long in the direction of Fitzner. He can't take the mark, but it's taken here by Officer at ground level. Punches the ball forward. The South spare player here in Daly should mop up. He does so. He doesn't know whether to handball or kick. In the end, he decides to handball to McLean. McLean tries to get the ball to Sampson, who tries to con the goal. The boundary umpire into saying it's not out of bounds on the full, but the boundary umpire saw it and paid it, and Officer wastes no time in driving the ball forward, rather sloppily, but forward for Centrals. It's taken by Cowan, who feeds the handball to Fitzner, who feeds it into Cochrane. He's 40 metres out from goal and goes bang for the Doggies and puts it straight through as they storm to within contention here. 11 minutes into the last quarter at Noarlunga. Richard Cochrane has put through his second goal for the day, and he's moved Centrals under 13-16-94. They're only 19 points behind South Adelaide now, who are 17-11, 113. Special comments today given by our North Adelaide player, Tate Kaysler.
Yeah, I suppose that's the difference. Young Stephen Kenner down the other end there probably could have had a shot for goal, I think. You know, he was only probably 25 metres out. Comes down the other end, they kick a goal. You know, it's a two-goal turnaround. So, yeah, you know, it's pressure situations. You probably got to think a little bit clearer.
19 points the margin. The Panthers in front. We'll go around the grounds again for National Wireless two-way radio at Woodville. Here's Ben Pittman.
Thanks very much, Doug. About 20 minutes into the final quarter, and it's the Eagles by 48 points. The Eagles 18-16, 124 to 11-10-76, about 22 minutes into the quarter. We'll now hand it down to Brady Dell at Alberton.
The 20 49-minute mark here at Alberton, and we're seeing Sujay Cook line up for a goal, and the score at the moment is currently Port 16-15, 111, leading the Bays 14-12, 96. But it's been a good game so far. Goes back to Noarlunga.
And down here at Noarlunga, it looks like a 50-metre penalty was paid. I was writing down the scores then, so I didn't quite catch it, but it's a free kick to South Adelaide, and they'll kick from centre half forward, too far out to score into the breeze, but Michael Hanby has got this ball for South, looking for the options down there. Ben Warren, who's kicked 5 goals today, is probably the target he's got in mind. Hanby decides to go with a hand pass across here to the very gifted left footer in Scotty Webb. There's his kick. He looks down here for a teammate, but it was ill-directed, and Heath Hopwood it is. He got a new haircut today too, Heath Hopwood. I reckon he had it this morning. It doesn't look as though it's had much growth at all, as he took a very good mark. The action now is back on the half-forward line here for South Adelaide, and they've got themselves a free kick and a 25-metre penalty into the bargain too, as Kate Officer didn't give the ball back, and Tim Fleming, using a little bit of his AFL experience, no doubt there, has managed to get this 25-metre advantage for South Adelaide, and the former Richmond boy now to go back and a chance to score. It'll be a very, very good kick into the breeze. What do you think, John Simons?
Gee, there's some tired players as we see Michael Hanby trundle off the ground, and Matthew Smith not altogether convincing in his sprint onto the ground either. And you just suggest, Tate, that you know, in the warm conditions, both sides tiring now pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it's starting to take its toll now, and that'll be the difference after the little break.
Here comes Fleming, needs to start this left for it to drift back. It's exactly what he's done. You can hear the roar in the background. The South Adelaide supporters like it. It's a very important goal to South Adelaide. It's not the only one they need. We still feel they'll need another one, if not 2 more, but it's taken them to 18-11, 119, and they've got a 25-point break over Centrals now, who are 13-16, 94, as we approach the 14-minute mark here in the last quarter. We're 1 minute away from the drinks break, and Central's still within reach. Tate Casler.
Yeah, I suppose it's just disappointing for Centrals, you know, to give away a little free kick, you know, 25, 50-metre penalty for that, you know, which results in a goal when they had, you know, the run going their way.
Waiting now for the ball to get play underway. The umpire throws it up this time. Mackenzie got the tap out across to Arnott. He now kicks the ball in towards centre half forward. Up they go. Almost a good mark taken there by Daly. I was up there with him. He went with the hand pass across there to Robert Forster Knight. Comes out here to Fleming. Oh, that's a courageous play, that one there by Tim Fleming. He's down. Will he get up again? Yes, he will. It was courageous stuff, though, and a courageous play for Auto Pro Golden Grove. Down towards the half-forward line goes Central District after Fleming went down. And there was nothing untoward in it. It was just a real hard attack on the ball.
I'm not sure if the drinks break can go yet. There were 14 minutes and 45 seconds when the siren's gone there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Doug. I think the
That ball moved very, very quickly. South had the momentum there, but I thought there was going to be an all-in brawl, and to the players' credits, they kept their cool to some degree, and it was pretty interesting stuff. Ben Warren now with the ball once again right near the centre of the ground. Went with a hand pass to big Brent King in towards centre half forward, and a good South mark is taken there, 45 metres out from goal. And Tom Haitley, I know I've mentioned his name a few times. He's the son of Ron, or is that Craig Parry?
Yeah,
Let's see.
Parry it is.
But I am thankful that Hakely's played a good game. Let me make my point.
He has.
And Craig Parry, good mark at centre half. John.
I think his father, Ron, kicked 8 from a wing one day. You don't see that too often at SANFL, at any level, actually. 8 goals as a wingman.
Just imagine how his little town in the southeast at Tantanoola would have been talking about that, and around Millicent, all those areas down there. Wonderful stuff. But Tom's been at the club for a few years, but this is only his 10th game.
Really showing some good signs today, certainly progressing as a player. As Parry comes in from about 45 metres out, this would give South Adelaide a terrific fillip following the breach break if he can kick it, and he has. Starts it out left nicely. It drifts straight through for a goal. South Adelaide's 19th of the day, and you feel that should be enough for them to hang on here as they extend their lead out now to 32 points. They're 19-12, 126. Leading Central's 13-16, 94. That's Craig Parry's first goal of the day. 32 points at this stage. Tate Casler, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know whether Coach Roy Laird would be very happy about that last sort of play. They had a shot right in front of goal, and you give away a silly free kick and they go down and kick the goal. If they'd have kicked that one, they were only 4 goal down.
Yep.
You know,
not the sign
10, 15 minutes to play.
Not the time to show a show of strength. Wait until the players kick the goal.
You've got to stick up for your teammates and all that, but, you know, there is a time when to do it and when not to do it.
Let him kick the goal first. As the ball takes out, it's cleared by South Adelaide. It goes out to Kenner. Drifts the ball onto Warren, who's about 52 metres out. He goes in the direction of Fleming, who shows some terrific Auto Pro Golden Grove courageous play there, going backwards into the pack. But his momentum carried him a little bit too forward over the pack, and the ball went over the boundary line for a throw-in about 12 metres around from the Panther goal, holding on to this 32-point lead as we've reached the 20-minute mark of play, but we can expect the quarter to go for about 32, 33 minutes, given the drinks break that we've had there in the middle of the quarter. The ball's tapped down. It comes in the South Adelaide direction of Davey. He can't take it cleanly. Quinton Graham can. Feeds the ball out wide, but it's stolen here by Kenner, who snaps over his shoulder from nowhere. He's plucked that ball out of Arnott's hands and kicked a goal. An absolute brilliant TJM serious four-wheel drive goal of the day contender there from Stephen Kenner. I know they're a long way away from us over here, Doug, but I reckon Kenner just took that from the Central's players' hands.
Well, I'll take your word for it because I couldn't see. But it looked like a good goal from here, and I'm glad you mentioned it for the award because it was a gem. And I thought a while ago when Tim Fleming flew spectacularly for that mark, he was going to claim the Mr. Clip mark of the day. Looks like the boys from Mr. Clip have been out on the ground too because it's in immaculate condition here today. South Adelaide, 20 goals, 12, 132. Leading Centrals, 13-16, 94. Let's go round the grounds again for National Wireless two-way radio. And first of all at Woodville, Ben Pittman.
Yeah, thanks very much, Doug. It's just gone full time here at Woodville Oval, and the Eagles have pulled out winners by 40 points. The Eagles 19-16, 130 to Sturt 13-12, 90. Winners by 40 points here at Woodville. Now we'll throw it down to Brady Dell at Alberton.
Thanks, Ben. Full time at Alberton. Port Adelaide 18-15, 123. Just over the bay, 16-12, run away, which is a fantastic game of SANFL football. Now it's back to Noarlunga.
And back here at Noarlunga, a couple of thrilling games down there, and ours is a thrilling game too. As Kate Officer, been a great player today for Centrals. Great skills, kicks the ball in towards the half-forward line and go for it, John. John Simons flies for the mark. It's almost the Mr. Clip mark of the day. It was the South defender, Tom Hately, I think, who came in with his fist and he's thumped the ball away from his Centrals opponent, and it's come up toward us on the grandstand. And John Simons, he thought for a moment he is going to be in tonight's news. But hang on, John. It helps if I have your mic on for the atmosphere.
Ready to play, Doug, but I just couldn't quite get my hands on that one. As the ball's bounced in, Central's pounced on it to try and drift it forward. But Matthew Smith, as he cramps, is able to take possession of the ball and kick it to the boundary line. And he's hobbling down, cramping both legs there. And a few of the players are. But 22 minutes into the quarter, South Adelaide with a 38-point lead now. We'll be happy to chew up a bit of time here and play the boundary line as Chris Hall wanders past with us, just coming off the ground after contributing very strongly for South Adelaide today. The ball comes down from Brett King, finds Nagel, handballs the ball back to Smith, who's still cramping but manages to get the kick forward to Stephen Kenner, who's been dynamic today. He drives the ball forward to another dynamic player and another co-left footer in Alan Davey, who takes the mark there about 90 metres out from the South Adelaide goal, drives it towards the 50-metre line where Warren steams out and on the second grab takes a terrific mark. Another contender there for the Mr. Clip mark of the day. over the top of a couple of Central's players. He's taken that, but he's 65 metres out here, and he's just going to take his time to find an option. As he knows, he's going to drive it long to the goal square, and he does, right to the front of the goal square. Who can take a jump at it? In front is the Central player in Mackenzie. No, it's not. It's taken there now by Quentin Graham. He'll relieve the pressure for Centrals, and he's got Marco Bello, who's got no one within 150 metres of him. He can bounce the ball all the way down to the 50-metre line if he chooses, and then he'll go to Hopwood, I think. He'll know it's gone to Cowan, who may feed off to Hopwood. No, Hopwood says, listen, Luke, you're within 45 metres of goal. Go back, pop it through the middle and give us just a small glimmer of hope in this game.
You know, I'd put Heath Hopwood at full forward in the dying minutes. He's kicked goals from there before, and he'd love to be down there too.
I think they can have 2 or 3 down there, Doug. I don't think they can kick 7 goals in the remaining 8 minutes to win the game, though. I think they've run out of time and puff. But we'll see, as Luke Cowan will come in from about 50 metres out here to have a pop. Pops it out to the right. It's staying pretty straight, and it's gone through. It'll take Central to the magical 100 mark figure. Luke Cowan kicks his second for the day. He's worked hard at the centre forward, the big fella. Central's a 14-16-100. South Adelaide 20-12-32. Special comments today, 20-12-132, I'm sorry. And special comments today coming from North Adelaide Rover, Tate Kaesler.
Yeah, once again, Central's found themselves, by themselves. And the nice kick down forward, and lovely mark there. He had a couple of options to kick at. He had Cowan or Hopwood. He sort of sat it in between them on top of the South bloke. Nice mark. But yeah, I think you're right, John. I think they're a little bit too far behind now to have a crack at it.
You wonder how Bello can be in so much space. I think the South Adelaide players just relaxed a little bit and thought, we've got it in our forward line, we'll be okay here.
Well, when your confidence is up, everyone's running forward, when you're winning, so that sort of thing happens.
32 points the margin in the other matches. The Eagles have defeated Sturt by 40 points. Port Adelaide defeating the Bays by 15 points. Fellas, we'll go back to you at those grounds for the goal kickers real soon. In the AFL today, Collingwood defeated Carlton by 20, and the Saints have been rolled by the Roos by 7 points.
How come we get the late game every week, Doug? Is it a conspiracy theory?
I don't know what it is. I'm not sure. As Clinton King goes with his left foot for South Adelaide into centre half forward. Spectacular attempt to mark down there by the boy in... Who was that flying high for that? I think it was Brad Curry.
Yep.
Yeah, he was up a long way going there for the Mr. Cliff mark of the day. Didn't quite hold it. One of the Gowans boys gets it down towards half forward. Bello again couldn't take the mark, and sprinting away from him is little Kedder. He's got some toe. He only weighs 70 kilos, and I tell you what, he takes them on too. Goes down towards half forward, but the ball's beating all players across the line and out of bounds. In fact, I think it might have bounced off the leg of the South player in Smith and out on the full. So the ball's brought in. The mark is taken this time by Fitzner. He's on the outer wing. Kicks down towards the half forward line. Up they go. And the mark is dropped this time by Chris Gowans. Umpire says no, he held it long enough. And Chris Gowans it is who's got the mark now. He's about 70 metres out from goal. There's a nice centering kick up. Oh, there it was. I thought for a moment it was Bennett leaping from behind. Couldn't quite grip the ball. Nagel coming through. Has the ball. Looks out there for the SANFL official. And I think he's going to find him too, standing on the boundary line. No, doesn't quite roll over. Picked up by Chris Gowans, drops the ball in short and does what he rarely does, and that's kicked straight to an opposition player in Nagel, but not able to control it, and the ball has gone across the line and out of bounds. It's on the 50-metre line. Central's in attack, but they trail by 32 points. 27 minutes of the final quarter gone. John Simons.
Just a sign of some tiredness there with Chris Gowans just missing that disposal. We had Mackenzie free on the 50-metre line, but just an errant kick put the ball out of bounds as the ball's tapped down by Brett King in the direction of Hamby. Can't take possession. Cochrane throws it on the left boot in the direction of Shell, who have to come from behind. And Sean Daly, who has done a good job throwing back there as the loose man in defence and put his body on the line 2 or 3 times this quarter, backing back into packs. And that's courageous stuff. Tate Kaesler.
Yeah, you always like to see that in your teammates, and that's something that can lift a team. So, they've been doing it all day.
Mackenzie now to take this one up against Brett King. Mackenzie's got front position, taps it over his head into attacking position, but no central player is there. Michael Hamby is, and he feeds the ball off to Clinton King, who goes by hand to Matthew Smith, who goes by hand over there to Scotty Webb, who feeds it out to Clinton King, and it comes back to Webb, who's backed up again, who'll go on his non-preferred right boot in the direction of the half-forward line looking for Davey. He's out-bustled there by Swatala, who feeds the ball rather illegally out towards his opposition player as it ends up with Warren, who's inside 50, drives it forward in the direction of Parry, who lets it go, and it goes over his head and through for what is Definitely the sealer if it wasn't already for South Adelaide. Benny Warren pops through his 6th goal in an impressive performance from full forward today, and South Adelaide extend their lead now to 38 points at the 28-minute mark of the last quarter. They've kicked 21 goal 12, 138. Central's a 14, 16, 100. Doug Oakley.
Yeah, John, we might go around the grounds, get the goal kickers from the other grounds, because I reckon we've got a few minutes to play here, but fellas, we'll keep it brief. Just the score, the goal kickers. Let's first of all go to Ben Pittman at Woodville Oval.
Yeah, thanks very much, Doug. Here for the
It is South Adelaide, 21-12, 138, leading Central District, 15-16, 106. 30 minutes have gone in the final quarter. Probably only a couple of minutes to play in this one as Michael Davis gets it there for South Adelaide in the centre of the ground. And coming through strongly is Scotty Webb. That is another one of those Auto Pro Golden Grove courageous plays. He's done that a lot today. Gets it across to Hamby. In towards centre half forward. A hand pass came out there to Davis once again. What can South do here? Nagel was it? Got it on there to the boy. It's a goal to South anyway. And Davis has kicked that one. Michael Davis has kicked his 3rd goal for the afternoon, and South Adelaide 22 goals 12, 144. Central District 15, 16, 106. It's been a bit of a shootout here today, John Simon.
Yeah, very much free flowing. Try and say that quickly, Doug. Free flowing football today, and in the oppressive heat, we're seeing many goals kicked on the turnover because the players just don't have the energy to chase as hard going back the other direction.
Well, South have only won 5 games in their last 28 down here, so the supporters in front of us, Tate Koesler, pretty excited and happy to be able to clap the hands like that.
Yeah, they seem very happy, don't they? It's always good, you know, if you're having a bit of trouble at your home deck to get a win.
And it's Kenner who takes gets the takeaway for South Adelaide from the centre clearance, kicks the ball long in the Warren direction. He can't take the mark. Davey can't quite take the crumb and break through a tackle here as the ball then is feed out the back towards Sibanaila. Sibanaila under pressure feeds a handball to Symes, who in turn handballs to Graham, who's looking for someone to handball to, and eventually does, gets it over to Sibanaila, gets it back to Symes, and now he can run the ball out of the defensive 50 for Central, and he does. He goes long towards Hopwood. Hopwood bustling there with Sean Daly. Daly punches the ball defensively across the line and out of bounds, and defending that 38-point lead stoutly. Tate Koesler, a terrific job done by young Sean Daly in this last quarter for the Panthers.
Yeah, he's been very solid back there. You know, that's the defensive work you want. Use the boundary towards the end, but like you said before, John, there's a few tired boys out there.
Absolutely is. And with Norwood taking on South Adelaide as our broadcast game here at Noarlunga last week, playing last night, they're probably looking on with a bit of glee, hoping they tire them out a bit more, as Tyson Hay will take the relieving mark here for Central Districts on the outer wing here. The fizz has gone out of the game now as Hay just feeds the ball to Cochrane, who in turn kicks the ball down the line to first game of Brady Hudson. Hudson drives the ball in long in the direction of Shell and Bennett. Sampson punches over the top, can't quite reach it. Comes the back, Shell is the first to recover, gets the handball backwards in the direction of Anywhere. No, Ware can't take it, and it comes over to Gerard Bennett, who feeds the ball out wide now to Haitley. Haitley plays on and kicks the ball long and wide, searching for the boundary line. It's not going to quite find it, and Nathan Steinberner will get there first. for the doggies and feed the ball short to Hopwood.
Heath Hopwood now, the new look haircut, kicks the ball down towards half-wood. Lovely place kick onto Elijah Ware. He's on the half-forward line. There's his kick for goal. He's off target again, and that's his 4th behind for the afternoon.
Yep.
And it's amazing how it's just a fine line between putting it through and missing, and he's missed. It's 15-17 to Central's 107, but they trail South Adelaide 33 minutes into the final quarter. The Panthers 22 goals, 12, 144. And won't this be a wonderful win to the South team if they can hold on? We're assuming nothing miraculous is going to happen. There must be only seconds to go in the game as the shadows get big across the ground too.
Take away your bias, Doug.
I was going to say, I can hear it in your voice, Doug.
No,
Very happy.
No, Centrals mathematically could still win it.
Sampson brings the ball in now to the outer side of the ground. Jumping high is Cowan. He spoils the ball in the direction of Hudson, who's coming at the front, feeds the handball on the up to Bello, who feeds it out wide now to Cowan. On the left foot, pops it in the direction of Ware and Fleming. No one can take the mark. McKenzie at ground level feeds the ball up to Fitzner, who's going to get tackled from behind by Stephen Genner, who picks the ball up beautifully and handballs it on the up to Sampson, who goes looking for Davis. Davis is up against Hopwood. They tap the ball to each other and eventually they're tied. Davis takes the ball and can run away from Hopwood, who is absolutely spent in front of us here. And Davis runs away, has his 3rd bounce, heading in towards the forward line for South Adelaide, feeds the ball to Warren on the lead. Warren takes it on the first bounce and goes inboard to, I think it might be Hately running inboard there. He can't take the mark and is mopped up here by Cochrane, who feeds the ball over to Symes. Symes looks out wide to Marco Bella, who's been by himself for much of this last quarter on the outer side, who gets the ball to Luke Cowan again, just on the 50-metre line on the outer side of the oval here, kicking towards the southern end, and with the aid of a strong breeze, distance won't be a problem. And we've played 34 minutes and 40 seconds in this last quarter as the siren goes to end this game as a contest.
On behalf of our neighbours, South Adelaide Holders and James Hotel in Alexandria, thank you for your company today. Are you ready?